So, welcome everyone on this Sunday and special stream for the BBC Midwinter broadcast. I think the good news, for at least for me, I'm hearing Radio Farda on 12040, and they have one frequency. That Radio Farda comes from the Wooferton, UK transmitter side. And they have 12070 that will be from Wooferton also for the midwinter. So this gives me an idea that 12070 here might actually be a very good frequency, and propagation is actually really good. So hey everybody, welcome aboard. This is a special stream because we are usually live on Saturday at 20 UTC. We were yesterday with a pretty long show, 5 hours. That was a good one. And I don't expect to do 5 hours today, but you never know what things happen. So welcome aboard. This is a special live stream that we are doing for the BBC annual BBC Midwinter broadcast to the Antarctic, the British Antarctic Survey, where a handful of people are celebrating what they call midwinter and are going to have fun. So this is going to be really nice to see that transmission that they have every year, and it's kind of cool that the BBC does such a transmission for a handful of people in Antarctica. So my name is Gilles. I'm located in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, northeast part of North America, and we are live to have fun with radio. And of course, there's a chat room where you can join with wonderful people if you want to have a good time and interact with people. There are people that are in the CIDX Zoom meeting today, as if you're a member of the Canadian International DX Club, like our friend Blogger Die here, you might be also in that Zoom meeting. And that is something that is always a lot of fun. Once a month, they meet up for the Zoom, and we meet up together. Usually I am part of the Zoom, but today I decided to do a live show here. But we will actually go and try a little something that I've never done. We're going to I'm going to contact the get on the Zoom meeting in about half an hour, and we will go and say hello to everyone, and you guys will see what the Zoom looks like on the CIDX side. Say a little hello, promote the club a little bit also, and after that we'll come back here and continue and check out what's there for the BBC Midwinter that we will of course be listening together, hopefully with good propagation, and that will be fun. The frequencies for the broadcast at 2130 UT for BBC are 9460 from Wooferton, UK. There will be 9510 from Ascension Island Relay. And there will be 12070 from Wooferton, UK. So hopefully one of those frequencies will propagate. I think 12070 here is the frequency that's gonna actually work for our transmission to Antarctica. I think that's the one we're gonna hear quite well. Like I said, Radio Farda is right now on 12040, and that is being broadcast by the Wooferton UK transmitter site. And I'm hearing it with a very decent signal up to F7 and it's actually directed to the Middle East. So that gives me an indication that 12070 might be actually very good here. 5975 has not been chosen. They tested that one too, Blogger but 5975 has been dropped. The frequency of 5975 doesn't show up on the official BBC webpage. Only the 3 frequencies that I just gave. But you know what? You never know. You could maybe try it just to see if something's there. But I think they dropped that one. Usually they test 4 frequencies and choose 3 of them. So maybe they noticed that 5975 isn't propagating well to Antarctica. But hey, you never know. It might be one to try for just in case. Who knows? So, yeah, we are here for this special live show. And of course, there's also the Facebook group, by the way, that you can join when you want. We have people sharing lots of things there. And, it's just a great group. Official SWL channel is the name. Don't forget that if you wish to help out on these live shows and on the YouTube channel, you can send donations through the super chat, and also food and cat treats. We're going to call it like that today. If you wish to send a little something through PayPal. If you enjoy what I do, if you enjoy the fact that I'm doing an extra show this weekend for the BBC Midwinter broadcast, how about a little donation to help out? It would be nice. It's always fun. Thanks for everybody that donated. And we're looking for, maybe the first people that never donated before, the first time that you might give a little something. It's not always to the same people to give out, to take out their wallet, as we say. So don't hesitate. It is for a good cause. If you like what I do, if you're here all the time, just a little something. Any amount helps. Don't worry about the amount that you're giving. So we're preparing ourselves. Propagation, first of all, looks very good. I actually got half an hour ago a M12 Morse code number station from St. Petersburg, Russia on 12195. It was coming in with a very good signal. So this tells me that right now we're in a perfect propagation condition to receive the BBC Midwinter broadcast. And so hope that all of that will be great as we it's going to be a lot of fun to listen to. It's always great, I mean, they have these family greetings, and they have special requests for songs and things like that, which always makes the broadcast very unique and very interesting to go to. For those that would they miss out on this, if you are one of those that, like you didn't see that this was happening, maybe you're going to look at the live show this weekend and say, oh, that was happening this weekend. BBC Midwinter broadcast is also going to be available through a podcast. So this is the web page for the BBC Midwinter. When they actually have done the Midwinter broadcast, sometime later today or tomorrow, the podcast will be available online where you can listen to it. And if you want to put yourself in the mood of the BBC Midwinter broadcasts, you have available past episodes for last year and the year before. So you can go and check it out. This is the web page for the BBC Midwinter. So you can go and check it out and even listen to older broadcasts if you wish. So this is going to be a fun event to have together today. I want to say hello to Mike B from Bayfield, Colorado. We have Gabriel from Uruguay, hoping that even in the noisy environment of Montevideo, he might receive the broadcast. I would not be surprised that you would get it. It might actually be. I remember, I think it was last year or the year before. I took I went to a few South American, like Brazil, Kiwi SDRs, and the signal was very good there. So it might not be too bad in Uruguay. Stephen Wright, nice to have you here from SX UK. Richard Wagner, nice to have you here from rainy Northeast Illinois, awaiting the big broadcast. By the way, you guys, if you were here yesterday, remember that I showed the weather map where there was all of these strong storms and all sorts of colors. Well, on the west part, I told you it was going west of me. Well, the west part of the island of Montreal has been badly hit with flooding last night. It was flooded in many, many places. Streets filled with water, basements that were filled up with water also. And also on the South Shore and some places like Saint Constant, apparently they've had a tremendous amount of rain, and it was chaos, and it still is. And we're still, well, now it's stopped. I noticed that they took it out, but we were still today into up to recently into a severe thunderstorm watch, and we actually got a pretty strong one here once again about an hour ago. So, but here it's okay because we didn't have that much rain yesterday. But I could imagine how those new thunderstorms today are probably making some people in the west part of Montreal in the South Shore a little uneasy today. Like, they had so much rain yesterday. Maybe they don't want to have rain today. So hopefully things are going to get better. But lots of even some power outages on the west part of the island of Montreal and the South Shore. So really strong cells that gave out. I heard that in some places they had up to 150 millimeters of rain yesterday. So that's a lot of rain. Jay Waterston 69, nice to have you on board. Joe, nice to have you here near Philly, going to the park with a courtesan to listen to the broadcast. So that, I think, if you have too much noise, is the best thing maybe you can do is find yourself a little spot outside where the noise is gone, and or lower at least, and you have maybe a good chance of hearing the BBC Midwinter. Bobby Burgess, nice to have you here. WA5107SWL in Morgan City, Louisiana. Gabriel says got a little extra QRM due to the battle against today's Uruguay second match at the World Cup. So Blogger Die, nice to have you here, and he's on two screens with the CIDX Zoom and the live show here. Skidology, live, lots of noise today, seems to be specific to the Ontario area because one of my dad's friends from Northern Ontario said he wasn't getting much either. Yeah, but if he was listening a little earlier, we're in the summer solstice today, longest day of the year up here. Usually around noon to I would say before 3 to 4 p.m., usually the bands are dead. It's not the conditions or noise, it's kind of a fact of summer propagation. Midday is usually pretty bad. So this is the effect of the sun being very high. There's a lot more absorption in the ionosphere, so signals just don't propagate very well. It usually tends to get better as the sun goes down around late afternoon, early evening. So Skidology says, I don't know if I'll be able to pick up the BBC Midwinter, but I'll try. RJ Dakota, nice to have you on board from Wentzville, Missouri, W80113SWL. And says, nice day, even if a little cool for a summer day. So what frequencies, Mark? I posted the frequencies in the chat. Once again, 9460 from Wolferton, 9510 from Ascension Islands, and a 12070 from Wolferton, UK also. So Y3WR, so check the test frequencies for Taiwan. French, 15145 was weak. but you notice the language. 11995 was better, and 9545 was stronger, but interrupt a little by a close station at 9540. So, Skidology, I know it's not mandatory to have a shortwave call sign, but I should get one. Apparently, you can just get one online and it's free. Yep, I will share the link. People that don't know this, there's you can get your own call sign and a certificate. Shortwave. I'm trying to remember the website. Certificate. ARL. It's the what is it? The SWRL, something like that. Let me try to remember that in place. I think it's swrl.org, is it? If I remember, yes. Wow, I remember. So this is the website, and you get a nice certificate. If you want to have your own shortwave listener call sign, that, by the way, you can use if you ever QSL ham radio operators, for example. You can make yourself, a little card and send them your card with your shortwave call sign, and at the same time let them know that you're listening to them, and they, might actually send you a QSL card back by mail. So these are things that you can try. So, but why not? It's fun, and you'll get your. Usually takes probably within a week to get the call sign. One of the biggest problems, by the way, is if you go and get your shortwave call sign, remember that often the email they send you back with your certificate is in the spam folder. So if you have applied for one and have no news, you can go to the website of the that I just posted, and here you'll be able to actually get your certificate. You can search for your certificate through this place. So if you want your call sign, this is a best place. I think I'm in the right place. Yes, I am. Personally, yeah, get your shortwave call sign, and there's a place where you can search for it. If you want to, I'm gonna share the link. If you want to, if you haven't, so this is a pretty long link. I don't know if it's gonna work. If you want to verify if your certificate is there, this is the link that I just posted. You can search for your name and look at the certificate. It will show up if you search for your name in the listing that is there, and you can click the show certificate on the right side of the screen to find your certificate. And a lot of people over time have mentioned to me, well, I applied for that call sign and never got the certificate. Yeah, it's there. It's just that it was in the spam folder of your email. So all of that is there. If you guys want to have your own shortwave call sign, it's cool, and get a nice certificate. You can print it out and display it, which is also kind of cool. Why not? I actually should print mine and put it on the wall here. I do have my ham radio license certificate right here in the back. I should have my shortwave call sign. Why not? Robert Varner, nice to have you here from New Jersey. ZY3WR says, knowing it's not my target, but hopefully the lower frequency they could, since 15,000 is bad at these errors. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to hear maybe the 9.5, like 9460 or something like that might actually come in. Salut TVDXer, ça va bien, j'espère que tu vas bien. Free to choose, salut de Saint-Hyacinthe, j'espère que tu vas bien toi aussi. Nice to have you guys on board. Scatology not really hearing 12040, so I think it's best that I go to the local park. TV Radio 72, nice to have you on board. Looking forward to the BBC Midwinter. Steve Burnham, nice to have you here from Central Pennsylvania. ZY3WR says also same radio Oromia fix their audio. Smooth on 6030. By the way, I have a little beer, so cheers, everyone. So nice to have you here, Brett Woolley. So the frequencies have been posted. Bert, WF7I Homebrew, nice to have you here again. And what else do we have? RJ Dakota not getting 12040, but we're still, an hour early, so propagation will have time to change also in the next hour for those frequencies. One thing for sure is the more you are towards the center of North America or the West Coast, chances are not that great that you can, that you'll get it. But on the East Coast, at least, we should be hearing at least 12070 for sure. What else do we have? 5975, believe China, says ZY3R. Blogadice says 12040 is good. So you should be getting the, you really be getting out. Which page? The BBC one? Let me just go here. Let's see here. I've maybe the link. Let's just check here. So the one for the BBC works. I don't have a 404. I actually have, it brings me to the BBC Midwinter page here. So I don't know. Yep. So that's kind of interesting. Whoops. Any other page that I posted? So I posted the link to the page, the BBC, and that works. So there we go here. So yeah, here it works for you choose. I don't know. So we have the link also that blog that I posted that works. So I don't know. Here both work. So Tristan, events like this is what makes shortwave fun. A broadcast from the UK to Antarctica. It still blows my mind. Yeah, definitely. Blogadai says try picking up the Argentinian Antarctic broadcast. Yeah. There's still hope for LR836 in Antarctica that they might be back sometime by next year, as right now it's winter, so nothing's happening, but they hope that this when they get to the spring and towards summer, they might actually be able to put back the transmitter on 15476. That would be really nice. Brian Vandenheimer, nice to have you here, says 12040 is 4 on 9 here in BC, getting stronger. So he's getting it all the way to British Columbia. So there's a chance you might be hearing. Brian was monitoring 6 meters all morning, no luck. Mark, thank you for the SWL call sign. I didn't know. Yeah, a lot of people don't know, and it's a free service to have it, so it's kind of cool. Blogger says still uses WDX4JHH from Popular Electronics magazine back in the day. Yeah, you can see immediately where you got it. Some have it from the website I just posted, but some have this weird with like WDX, and they have like all these letters, and These come from the time where Popular Electronics magazine used to actually give out shortwave call signs. Radical Squadron, QSL ham operators most of the time by listening to them with my shortwave call sign. YouTube Radio X Data, USSR, nice to have you here. Radical Squadron, just gonna go back here. Okay. SWARL does have special awards as well. Mark, there's also CB call signs, but they vary from district to district and clubs. ZY3WR, it's mostly bad for me, but I bet it's good for Africa, but who knows. For when Taiwan and French happen. Yeah, those frequencies they tested today, they will be choosing what's the best ones, and they will start broadcasting in French with some of those frequencies that they tested today, starting, I think, is August the 6th, they're choosing those frequencies. Joe Snake, nice to have you here. Keegan DXer, nice to have you on board. From Northwest Arkansas, I had FM E-Skip from Sonora, Mexico, and Phoenix, Arizona on the Quintessent DX 286. So pretty cool, pretty cool. It's always a lot of fun. And it's nice to have all of you here. So, look at that. Isn't WDX50 a spray lubricant? I know that WD40 is one. So let's quickly do a little jump and see if it works. And we'll go and join the people at the Zoom meeting. So let me see if I am able to do so. I have no idea. I've never done this. So up to what? So I like the fact that Windows 11 now lets you use the one camera with multiple apps at the same time. So I'm going to join. So we'll see how it says join. I'm supposed to have me checking in, and hopefully it's going to work. Mike says close, but no cigar. Hey, Gino from Kentucky, nice to have you here. Mike B just applied for his shortwave call sign. And like I said, don't forget the link when you are going to... okay, just wait a minute here. I'll make my...
He's on his way in, and there he is.
Hello. Wait. Hello there.
Welcome, Jill, and anyone else who's there.
Just going to do a little something. It won't be long.
Okay. Everything you do is long. Especially those YouTube shows.
Okay, here I am. I'm going to put full screen, and I'm going to switch my video output so that people see you guys also.
Okay.
So here we go. Display capture, and so you guys better look beautiful.
Fix our hair and...
So hey, these are the guys at the CIDX meetup right now. So
we're just seeing you, Jill. Are we supposed to be seeing something else?
No, you shouldn't be seeing anything. You
okay,
should see only me. They should see you guys.
Okay.
Like
everybody wave at them.
Yeah. Bobby Burgess that made this is marked. It's
yes. Well, he's on both, I think, right now. So
yes,
yeah.
like Kevin Davidson, Blogger Die.
Okay.
So
very good. Well, welcome everybody that's on Gilles' channel. This is the Canadian International DX Club's monthly Zoom meeting, which generally is only open to CIDX members, but we're welcoming you with open arms to see all of us in here. We are scattered around North America and also in the UK today. We have one of our members in the UK with us. So we welcome you guys on board here with us. And if you have any questions for us, feel free. We are waiting, as you are, for the midwinter BBC broadcast to the Antarctic. So that's coming up at 21:30 UTC in approximately an hour from now. So we will be checking that out. As many of, who was it? Kevin laughed before when I said if you happen to be near your radio. He found that hilarious that we're always near our radios. In many cases, near multiple radios. So we will be checking that out, seeing how many of us are hearing the signals and which ones are the best, depending on where we're located. So, Gilles, how many people do you have in there today?
Right now, if I look at the YouTube studio, we're 94 right now.
Okay. We have about 20 some odd. I think we got up as high as 30 today. 25, 26, 27, 20, 27 or 28, something like that. So a good group as usual. And we've just been going over a number of things that are going to be happening coming up in the next week or so. Tomorrow, the shutdown of CHU Canada.
Yeah.
Next weekend, also Field Day and the what else did we mention? The World Cup ham stations that are going on.
Yep.
So yeah, lots of things coming up to check out, and we're going to see what we can hear today later on in about an hour's time.
I think that the broadcast will probably be pretty good here on at least on the East Coast, because I'm hearing Radio Farda on 12040, and they're broadcasting to the Middle East from the Wooferton, UK transmitter.
Ah, okay.
And it has a pretty good signal. So 12070 will also be from Wooferton. So this, I think 12070 might be a very good frequency on the East Coast.
Okay. Well, yeah, I've got the Kenwood here over beside me here, tuned to 12070 right now, just to see. Once things get going, I'll check that one out and check the other frequencies as well.
And for some people on my channel, you might notice that you're seeing faces, and some of those faces are in the chat room where there's no faces. So some of you that never have joined a Zoom might actually see people, the real people behind some of the names, like Kenneth, which KW1161, Kevin Davidson, which is Blog or Die, and we have several others. Paul Stringer, of course, which is Paul Stringer. Bobby Burgess, which is has a different name also in the chat, and so on. So it's kind of fun to also you guys to see a little bit what people look like.
Yeah, people are giving up their aliases. Now the FBI and the CSIS are going to track them down, and RCMP here in Canada find all of you guys. Yeah, we're here once a month, and if you are a CIDX member, you're always welcome to check into our. We usually for the summer months here, spring and summer, we've been doing them on Sunday afternoons. That will change come the fall when NFL starts, and I'm not available on Sundays. But we'll move it to another day. We've done some on Saturdays. We've done some during weeknights. We move them around a little bit. The different times. We have people in different time zones, obviously. So you guys all know about that. So anyways, so yeah, if anybody has any questions in your group, they can pass them along to us.
Yeah, anybody has questions, you can put them in the chat. We'll be looking at the chat. Right now, everybody's in the rest in peace CHU with all sad faces.
Yeah, we're Gilles, you and I were talking Friday. We kind of doubt that they may even have any ability at CHU to go on there with voice on the frequencies to have any sort of special announcement tomorrow when they do shut down. But the gentleman who answered us did say that they don't currently have anything planned, but that if they do, it would appear on their website. So
a few people have been mentioning that the replies they've been getting, they find them to be a little cold, like, okay, well, here's the deal, but who cares? We're going off.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the guys that answered, we've heard from two different people, and I mean, their answers were, they answered quickly. I did tell them that there were probably going to be thousands, if not more, people around the world, tuning in for their shutdown. Didn't seem to generate any reaction from them. So
when you're losing your job, you tend to get cranky.
well, I don't know if they'll be losing their jobs. They might be pushed to do something different. Well, I don't think they have much to do with relate to the transmitters running. But we'll see. I don't know how the whole system really works out there, so it's kind of an automated thing, I guess. But anyways, we'll see tomorrow. There will be a lot of people listening, no doubt, and yeah, I'd really, we were speculating that they probably won't do anything other than, flip the switch and cut the power, and everything will go off simultaneously, or whether they're all on the same or whether they have to turn off each one independently of the three transmitters. I don't know. But anyways, we'll see what happens tomorrow. So.
Oh, I'll share this. The Radicals Quadrant, this is a message for Sheldon. Do not have PayPal. Where do I need to send the money order? I like to have a subscription to the Messenger. So
okay.
Well, first off, the website.
First off, you don't get a subscription, you get a membership.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. I always harp on that. I hate the word subscription when it comes to CIDX. Subscription is what you get to Time Magazine or Rolling Stone or your local newspaper or whatever.
Newspaper.
I still get a Gazette every day here, except Mondays and Sundays. Hard copy. Support the local paper. But you become a member. It does mean you get a monthly magazine from us, our messenger bulletin, but you are a member of a club, which is a little bit different than just having a subscription. Go to our website, CIDX.ca, CIDXclub.ca, sorry, and the address to mail a check is there. Very prominently displayed on the page, how to become a member.
I'll share the link in the chat.
Yep. So yeah, welcome. Anybody is welcome. You don't have to be Canadian to join CIDX. It is a general coverage radio club as well. We have pretty much DC to daylight included, and a lot of stuff that's quasi-radio related. Doesn't necessarily come straight off the radio. So lots of different material. Gilles' utility column, medium wave, short wave, programming,
amateur radio, QSL column, loggings of all sorts from medium wave to short wave.
Yeah, news and stories from different sources of things going on in the world of radio. We have a radio bookshelf column, talks about different books available out there about aspects of radio. The not just listening column is kind of interesting. We find movies and videos, YouTube videos and stuff to do with radio. So things for you to watch rather than just listen. So yeah, some unique stuff. We've got a good group of column editors. We have a technical column, which we'd like to get more input to from different people. We have a few regular people. We've got one of our fairly new members was in here. Is he still here? From out in San Diego. I'm not sure I think he may have left. He's working on some articles for us. And we've got Greg down in Connecticut who writes quite a few articles for us on the technical side of things. Some of them get pretty deep into technical stuff and some are very basic. We have special features from time to time in the bulletin as well. So generally it's anywhere from 60 to 100 pages a month of information. It comes to you in a PDF by email once a month, usually in the first week of each month. So there you go.
The question of Chris is, no lady members of CIDX? Of course there are a few.
Yeah, there are not many, but there are a few.
My cousin, for one.
Yep,
Yeah,
Janice, and we have a lady in Ontario, Sheila. There's a couple others. There's one over in Italy. I'm trying to think. Not many though. We'd love to have more in our nerdy hobby, but yeah, it would be nice. But yeah, open to everyone. You don't have to be Canadian, and we don't only have Canadian content in the bulletin. There is material there for everybody. We have Glenn Hauser's DX Programs Guide too, which is popular if you want to listen to any of the DX shows. He keeps that up to date monthly for us and for everyone else through his own page. I didn't mention the pirate column either. Brian Penny's column, big column, lots of reports to his column. Keep you up to date on what people are hearing on the pirate stations as well. So yeah, I don't know if we the podcast column, I forgot that too. John's column lists some interesting podcasts for you to listen to. That appears every 2 months, not every month. So yeah, there's plenty of stuff in there. If you don't find something of interest, then you're in the wrong place. there's so much stuff every month, and we have a good group of editors who work hard to get all that stuff together for us. Even though I have to send them that email every month to tell them to get their stuff to me on time, or at close to on time. It is quite a production to get it all together every month, but it's well worth it, I think. Very inexpensive. You can't bang for the buck. You can't beat it. So.
Oh no, yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. It's not because it's the last day of the month at 11:55 p.m. that my column hasn't been started yet.
Yeah, you're one of the last ones on the that email list to respond, but that's okay. That's. I give you enough lead time. So putting it together is a process of editing and squeezing everything together to make it look pretty. One of the toughest things is putting a cover on the bulletin every month. I have to admit I've used the assistance of AI from time to time to help. AI created a very interesting Christmas cover for us. I asked it to create a cover with tying in radios and antennas and Christmas. And it came up with this beautiful Christmas scene of a house with a big antenna behind it and a radio sitting outside on the porch or whatever. So yeah, it helped out occasionally because my mind goes blank once in a while as to putting something on the front cover. So we're always looking for input. Any members are free to input material. The column editors love to get input in the way of loggings or questions or comments about the columns, suggestions, what have you. Bobby, go ahead.
I gotta say, for everybody that is watching on the official SWL channel, what is great about 10 a year to join the CIDX side? It's so great. You get to see nice people that's in the hobby. You get that messenger every month. You get to be in the Zoom every month. So yeah, 10 a year. Why not? What else can you do with $10? Right. Back to you, Sheldon.
Thank you to Bobby from our sales office located in Morgan City, Louisiana. Yeah, anyways.
$10, you could buy a gallon of gas with that.
Just about, yeah.
Saying.
$10 a year, Canadian or US, or our special, 3 years. Yes, 3 years for $25. So it's a great bargain, I think. So, and the Zoom, the Zoom has been great. If we have one thing to thank COVID for, it was the introduction to setting up these meetings on Zoom.
Yep.
And getting to see the faces and communicate with the people who were up to that point, in many cases, just names on a membership list. And, we really didn't know a lot about these people. We knew they had an interest in radio. And that was about it. If, maybe some of them took the time to send us a note or something. But otherwise, it was, getting a membership renewal from them every month. every year, I should say, and that was the only communication we had with many of them, other than sending them the bulletins. So Zoom has given us the ability to see people, make friends with people. Many of the people you see on screen here are regulars. They're here almost every month at our meetings. And we don't go quite as long as Gilles does on his YouTube live chats. We're usually here for a few hours, depending on what's going on and how many people are here. But just an example. Today we have where did I put my list? We have people literally all over the place. New Jersey, Minnesota, British Columbia, Ontario, the UK, Louisiana, New York State, Laval, Quebec, a few from Alberta, Manitoba, San Diego, just if I've forgotten, Baltimore, Cape Cod, from all over the place. So yeah, it's everyone's welcome. And I think, no question is a dumb question. We parallel, I guess, a lot what Gilles does. The difference between what Gilles does and what we do is we're visual with each other here, and we're communicating voice-wise with each other, which is different. You're communicating with Gilles by chat, but it's only him who's doing the talking. So that's a big difference. It works, but it's different. So here, I think it's it is a lot more personal. You get to know the people a little more. So there you have it. Jim's put a message up. He says, the Messenger is the most comprehensive DX bulletin. Takes me a full month to get through it all, usually around 70 to 100 pages. It's great. That comes from our sales office in Western New York. We have one scatter. Oh, I can't forget our sales office in Minnesota, because Carl's brought us so many new members in the last few months or year or so. It's been crazy. So yeah, we have salespeople all over the place. The commission checks are in the mail. I forgot to put stamps on them. Oh, geez, I knew I forgot something. Anyways, okay. They haven't come back to me yet, though. So interesting. Okay, so hats off to the sales team, says Fred. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it wouldn't happen. This wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for all you people, and Gilles as well. Gilles Letourneau with his channel. He I think almost one-handed, single-handedly brought us from a point where we were wondering if we should keep doing this. We dropped down at one point to about 80 to 90 members. And, we started looking at that and wondering, it's a lot of work. And, do we keep going? What's the deal? And then Gilles came along and started promoting what we do. And we are presently over the 300 mark in members. So it was a dramatic increase, really pushed us to keep things going. We've been at this since 1962. That was when the club was formed out in Manitoba. Then it moved to Alberta, and then we split it into two groups, East and West. So we have our headquarters here in the Montreal area, and another one out in Sherwood Park, Alberta. So we cover Canada that way. And we had a list. We've got not quite members from all 50 states, but pretty close. We're only missing a handful of states where we don't have at least one member. So we try to fill in those gaps if we can as well. So there you have it. So we are 40 minutes away from the BBC broadcast. A couple of the other things we mentioned today for the Gilles gang. We talked about the new station in Brazil that's testing on shortwave, Radio Fazenda.
Yep.
And Bobby checked for us, and they are still on the air testing. He checked with one of the online SDRs down in Brazil. I have heard them very weakly here in the Montreal area. 7805, 9310, and 11490 are the three frequencies. They do have an FM station on 87.9, but they're not running parallel to that station. They're just running Brazilian music on those shortwave frequencies. Parallel, they're all the same transmission on all three. But we don't really know what their intentions are for that station. But they are experimenting with with those three transmitters. And if you go on the SDRs down in Brazil or parts of South America, you can listen to them there to check them out, especially if you're trying to get them at home, wherever you might be, and the signal's maybe not that great. You can check the parallel with the online SDRs to see if they're actually the station that you're hearing. So so that's was kind of neat to pick up a little trace of them here. Not very strong, but definitely was them. And that, I heard them here around 21:30, so late afternoon. You may try different times. They were, according to Bobby, when he tuned in to check, was earlier this afternoon, and they were still transmitting on shortwave. So that might be a target for some of you to try.
There was a test transmission today that happened at 17 UT from Radio Taiwan International in French.
Okay.
I tried here, didn't hear anything on any frequencies, but we have someone in the chat room in my channel, ZY3WR, that is in Israel, and he said that he was listening to it and hearing it quite well, especially on the lower frequencies that they've tested. So
okay. They ran something earlier today too. Was it German? Or
there was German, yeah, German and French today were the two languages they were testing.
Okay. All right. Ken says, along came Jill. Yeah. Yeah.
Along came Jill, everything went to hell.
Richard in Alberta says YouTube that Zoom is more personal. Well, yeah, it's more direct, obviously, but Jill's been. How long you been doing the official SWL channel?
October the 1st, 2012 is when it was born.
Wow.
And October of the next year was the first live show, which I don't want to go see because it's horrible.
Okay.
I was in the kitchen with my ICOM ICRD 500 on top of the dryer.
Okay. Hey, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
It
looks a little different today.
Yeah, a little different today. Yeah, mission control there. Yeah, I brought a friend. We went out bird watching very early yesterday morning. A friend came over and stayed overnight because we had to get up at 3 o'clock to go out to Ormstown, Quebec for 5 in the morning for a special bird watching trip. But when he got to the house on Friday evening, I brought him. He says, "I've seen you on Zoom in your bird club meetings," and he said, "I see little bits of things behind you." So I said, "Well, come take a look in the mission control room, as we call it." And yeah, he came in here and was like, "Wow, what is all this stuff?" He had no idea what was going on here. But yeah, it's kind of neat to be able. You only get to see a little bit of it from. Like he said to me, he says, "I see a little glimpse of it on the screen, but now I'm seeing the whole thing in person." So there you go. Fred, you got your hand up. Go ahead, Fred.
Hey, Sheldon.
Yeah.
I think some people might get a kick out of this, but anyways, I talked to you about this at the Winterfest, but back in 2019 when I broke my wrist, I had to deal with the pharmacy at the local hospital. And I used to chuckle every time I went in because of the name of the hospital or name of the pharmacy. And I don't know if this is going to show up or not, but I just found this the other day and I'm going to mail it to somebody. I think, let's see if this works.
Hauser's.
Hauser's Pharmacy.
Have you sent that to Glenn, actually?
I used to chuckle every time I went in there, and you mentioned I should, tell him about it. And I've been searching around for this thing, and I found it yesterday. And so I'm going to send it to him. And I think it's pretty funny because I think the postage rate to the States now is what, maybe about a sesqui dollar?
Yes. Very good. He'll appreciate that, though, because I remember he asked about, anytime you see anything with the name Hauser on it, he would like to be informed about it because I guess he's doing family research, family tree stuff or something, and he's always interested. And we were in, I forget, that was a place called Delaware Water Gap in Pennsylvania a number of years ago. There was a little folk music festival there, and actually not just folk music, but some of it was folk music. A little music festival. And I was there for something else and stumbled onto this thing. And in the town of Delaware Water Gap, there's a little museum, and half the exhibits are from a family, a Hauser family. So I picked up a pamphlet from the museum and sent that to him too. So it gave him contact with a whole bunch of people that were with the family name Hauser. So yeah, if any of you online here come across anything in your town or whatever that has the name Hauser on it, Hauser, Glenn Hauser would be interested in knowing about it. So Jim's got a question in the chat. He says, can someone explain how CHU going forward can offer a precise time signal on the internet? Seems like lag time would be a huge problem. I thought of that, Jim, when somebody mentioned it earlier, and I didn't bring it up. But yeah, there is an issue with that, I would think. Anybody have any opinions on that?
Yeah, they have, when they use the NTP protocol service, they actually look for the ping time or the delay time between whoever is going to ask for time and the computer that's going to send you that information, and they adjust it so that it is perfect. So that's why you can use some of the software. When you do FT8, for example, you need to be pretty precise in your timing. Their software that you install, it compensates for the lag, and it actually gives you a pretty accurate time.
Okay. Yeah, we had an interesting situation with that same situation of time delay. I worked for a year at a native radio station here in the Montreal region, CKRK, K103.7. And every Friday night they ran an on-the-radio bingo game. And they would sell bingo cards at the radio station, and you tuned the radio at 8 o'clock on Friday night to listen to the bingo broadcast and play bingo at home. Well, when they started live streaming, some people who maybe lived off the reserve, who could also play the bingo if they bought cards, some people had difficulty picking up the signal sometimes, so they would listen to the stream online. Except there was a delay. So by the time the number got called out on the radio, the people listening on the computer got it like X number of seconds later, so many of them missed out on getting the bingo or whatever. So yeah, they had to explain people that no, if you want to play bingo, don't listen to the station on the streaming service, but listen to it on the radio where you'd be hearing it without any delay. So yeah, similar type of issue that you brought up there, Jim, with the time signal station. Bobby, you're next. Go ahead.
Yes, I was speaking of like Glenn Hausers, and even when storms occur around that area, I just could not believe that Glenn Hauser dodged a bullet when that tornado hit that area about a month or two ago. We just recently had a tropical storm that passed. We didn't get anything out of it except for the rain and thunder. But I heard in other areas, like around the northwest area of Louisiana, there was like some storms, flooding. So I just cannot believe we didn't get any of that, but the others did. Like if you go to Terrebonne Parish or anywhere around northwest Louisiana, it's really bad out. It's really bad there. So yeah.
I note you pronouncing Louisiana as opposed to Louisiana. I guess that's a local thing.
It can be. Most people
Yeah.
don't even know how to pronounce Lafayette. They go like Lafayette. We go as Lafayette. They go as Lafayette.
So I guess we would too, with the French accent on it. Yeah, interesting. I love. We got into a big discussion one night at the SWL Fest about language and regional dialects and all that. It was a lot of fun, comparing different words in different parts of the country and the continent, and literally around the world as well.
I've seen. I think it was either on Facebook or YouTube. She could not pronounce the Chapalaya River. She had a lot of trouble pronouncing it, and it's like if I was able to converse with her today, I would teach her how to pronounce it right off the spot.
All right, Peter, you're next.
Yeah, I was fiddling with antennas, and you're talking about one of my favorite protocols, NTP. There's a radio connection. David Mills was a prof at University of Delaware, and he was W3HCF. And if you went to his old website, he's a silent key. I guess it's been 10 years now. He had a bunch of stuff on his backroom test facility, which was his station at home. He developed network time protocol under contract to the military who really remember ARPA, Advanced Research Project Agency. They're the ones that developed the internet, and they wanted accurate time over the network, even though the network is unreliable. And he developed the protocol, and it's the backbone of the system today. Most places have a local clock. I know that when I was at University of Oklahoma, we bought a couple of radio clocks that listened to the GPS signal, got their time from that, and then distributed it out as network time protocol. But you don't need that. You can just set up your own system with network time protocol. I run a program from a company called Meinberg on my Windows system to connect my computer to time, so I'm within a couple of milliseconds. If I left this on all the time, it would eventually drop down into the microseconds, but I turn my computer off every night. But it lets you get very, very accurate time compared to the official UTC time. And as I don't want to see CHU go away, but that's not how time transfer is done anymore. If you need accurate time, you're going to get it off the network, or you're going to get it off GPS directly. So.
Yeah, there are alternatives, like you said.
Yeah, I mean that's the way you do it now. So
yeah,
I'd rather CHU stayed on the air though.
It would be nice. Yeah. A couple other comments. I got Jill next. Hang on a second. A couple comments in the chat here. Jim in New York says, I noticed that some AM stations no longer give the tone to mark the top of the hour because of their streaming audience for whom it would be lagged. Yeah. Lee Reynolds, if you're truly looking for accurate time at home, there are a few ways to do it, which you've just given us a few there. Richard says his rain totals in St. Albert, Alberta, 80 millimeters of rain. For you metric people. I don't know what that is in inches, but you can probably convert it. That's a lot of rain, put it that way. Kevin in Virginia is asking how you would pronounce, and I'll pronounce it the way I would pronounce it, how would you pronounce Pierre, South Dakota? Not Pierre, right? I'm getting a nod of no from Jim up there in the screen. You want to?
I think it's pier.
Pier?
Yep. Pier.
It's where you put your boat.
Aha. Okay. So if you have a pier in Pier, you don't have a pier in Pierre. Right? Okay.
Right. Although they're not really on any navigable rivers.
Yeah, probably. So. Yeah, that's probably true. Okay, so you've put the ntp.org, Peter, you've put the website up in the chat. For Gilles people, are they seeing the full screen, Gilles? Or
Yep.
okay, so they're seeing the chat on the side as well? Or?
I didn't put a chat though here. I can put a chat right here. Here we go.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, your gang will see that we have a running chat as well as you do on your channel. Lee says, buy a GPS dongle, plug it into your computer, and use a program that reads the time for the satellites and sets your computer's clock. There you go. Yeah, Richard's calling it Noah's Ark out in Alberta right now. Mickey had mentioned on his camera at home, he's not at home right now. He's in Manitoba, but in Alberta he's seeing his yard has a new body of water going through it, his property anyways. What else? Jim says we have a suburban town west of Rochester, Chili, Chile, as I would pronounce it, is actually pronounced Shiley or Shiley. Which one? Shiley? Okay, Shiley. Okay. I believe it was originally meant to honor the country Chile. A neighborhood of Rochester is called Charlotte, but pronounced Charlotte. Okay. Yeah. Language, I love it. There's so many little interesting things depending on where you are. Don Moman, almost 5 inches of rain, had 7 inches about 2 weeks ago. Enough. That's up in Lamont, Alberta, where Don is located.
Right.
And Kevin says yes, Pierre for Pierre. Just go there and ask them. Yeah, there's a place on the way down through New York State that we were never sure of the pronunciation, but I believe it's Schuylerville, but it's spelled with a SCH at the beginning of it, which looks like Schuylerville or something like that, but it's pronounced locally Schuylerville. Lots of those weird things that pop up like that. So many of the border cities in upper New York State, upper Vermont, have French names that are anglicized, turned into English, like Ausable Forks and Ausable Chasm, those types of things, which is a direct French name, but I don't know how many people know that. We used to get a great kick out of WPTZ television when they would talk about Laverdier's Pharmacies, which was a great name for Laverdiere.
Hardware, where you can charge it.
Aubuchon, yeah. Aubuchon was
where
another one.
You can charge it. Bird Burdan used to advertise.
Yeah, Bird Burdan, the weatherman. Yeah. Going back a long ways.
Like 50 years.
Yeah. Gilles Michaud, go ahead. Another Gilles.
Yeah. Just as a thing for pronunciation, as we know, my name tends to get really modified in English,
oh yes,
depending on where the person is from. Because I remember going to the Winterfest when it was a Winterfest, and you would have 20 people pronouncing my name totally differently. So.
Yep. Well, yeah, the other Gilles goes through that too all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because we get the Gillis, the Giles, the Giles,
yeah.
The only one that actually got it right was the guy that was coming from Texas, who was pretty close to pronouncing it correctly, but he's one of the rare ones.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that sound at the beginning of your name is a name that is a sound that is, I guess the closest thing to it is a J, like Jack and Jill.
Yeah, that's why I usually pronounce it this way, because that's the closest to how it would spell.
Yeah.
But
but you really need that Gilles in there.
There's a Z and an H in there too.
Yeah, that sound is hard to find in English.
Yeah, so. The S at the end, well, that totally drops all the time. Every time I left my name somewhere in the States, the S at the end usually disappears. So
yeah, I would think some people would use Gil probably.
Yeah, that I heard too.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was fun when I used to get phone calls back at my company when I didn't have an extension. I only had my name as a reference, and the receptionist wouldn't forward half the calls because she wouldn't recognize the name.
Oh, jeez.
It finally got sorted out when I got an actual extension. But yeah.
Do you have a middle name?
Nope.
No, you don't have a middle name. Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, that's something that's not as popular in French as it is in English, I think. Yeah.
Well, a lot of the family had one, but in my case, my parents never gave me one. So.
Okay.
I'm technically Gilles Joseph Letourneau.
Did somebody tell me that all French Canadians are supposed to, like, women, it's Mary is supposed to be used, and male is Joseph?
Joseph is, yeah.
Is that true?
That's pretty true. I'm pretty sure that most people that I know that have that middle name is Joseph.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it goes back to the Catholic Church or
Yes.
something. But anyways, yeah.
Well, my parents had Anne Marie for my mother's name.
Okay.
So, and my father was Marc-Émile. So.
Okay.
Yeah, my actual real full name is Gilles Joseph Letourneau André.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's like, okay.
What's happening in Quebec right now, for the rest of you, that where you don't have, if a couple gets married, you don't have to take, the woman doesn't have to take the husband's family name. So we're getting a lot of these hyphenated names. So we're getting names that are like super long, especially some of the names in French that they have a hyphen between the two family names. So yeah, it's getting like really bizarre with some of the length of some of the names. So yeah, it makes it kind of odd. I went through my whole school year, and even still to this day, many people calling me Harvey. They constantly reverse my name, thinking that my first name is Harvey. It's a very common first name, and I literally have to correct so many people with it. And even to this day, it still happens. But all through school, constantly had the teachers reversing my name. It took great effort to get them to get it right. So, anyways.
Scarred for life.
Oh, it was terrible.
I like Kenneth saying, Gilles L., don't ask me to pronounce your name.
Let's see, a couple other things here. Kevin says, my ATS mini radio sets its clock via NNTP.
NTP.
NTP. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. And NTP is news.
Oh.
The old Usenet protocol.
Okay. And what do you put in here? Meinberg, is that? Okay, has a proper
Yeah, they have
NTP client.
Yeah, it's for nerds, definitely. But
okay, you can hammer on Windows, built-in time program, and really, for most people, you can get it to work pretty well in modern versions of Windows. But radio nerds should use a better solution. This one is free. So we have a link there in the chat. What's this, Kevin? Again, Beaufort. Beaufort, South Carolina is different than Beaufort, North Carolina. In pronunciation? Or?
Yes. Beaufort, that's the way that we always pronounced it when I was stationed down in South
Beaufort?
Yeah,
Wow.
one is Beaufort and one is Beaufort.
Yeah.
Beaufort, did you say?
No, Beaufort. Like
Oh,
B-Y-O-U.
Beaufort. Okay.
And one is Beaufort.
Beaufort. Okay.
Like
well, Beaufort's, yeah,
North
closest.
Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Beaufort, South Carolina.
Okay.
There's so many of these names that sound so French that for me, I would pronounce it in the French way.
Beaufort.
Beaufort.
what?
Yeah. We are 15 minutes away from the BBC midwinter broadcast, so you may want to get your radios tuned up and ready for that.
We can be
Again,
doing a pronunciation game while we are waiting.
So
Or pronunciation.
I'm just going to thank you all for having that little moment where we got together, Zoom and
Okay.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I want to thank Microsoft for being in the 21st century and letting a camera run on 2 apps at once now.
Excellent.
It works very well.
Yeah. Don't forget to give people the email address if they would like a messenger sample,
I will,
if
put
they've
the
never
website.
asked for one before.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And so we're going to switch off the network so that all the other network stations can actually synchronize. I want to thank you guys. It was a lot of fun to have you on the YouTube channel too, and we'll be listening for that BBC at 21:30 in 14 minutes times. Take care, guys.
Yep.
Bye,
Very good.
official
Thanks.
people.
Bye, people.
See you, Angie.
All right. So that was fun. Good for those people to get a look at all of us, and hopefully we'll hear from some of them.
And here we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that little moment where we shared the Zoom meeting from the CIDX club. That was a fun thing to do, actually. It worked very well also. So I find it really, really cool that we have that going on. So it's really, really nice to be able to do that. And like I said, this is cool because on Windows 11, with the last update, they enabled something that Windows could not do before. You could not share a camera with more than one app. You had only one app that ran your camera. The other apps would say the camera's already used. You can now use the camera with multiple apps, and it works very well. So this is pretty cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're 13 minutes away from our BBC broadcast. I think this is going to be fun. I have the little CHU time signal coming in here. We're in the last hours of the CHU time signal, unfortunately. That is very sad. Let me just go quickly. I did look at the chat quickly as we were doing the Zoom, but okay. Great. Familiar faces. Rick Myers, nice to have you here. KO4SO says, oh, the memories of my shortwave listening call sign. Call signs, he's got 2. He's got the one from Popular Communications and the one from the website that I shared. Radical Squadron's happy to have a QSL card from CHU. DJ Craze, nice to have you on board. Here I will. Well, ladies, so people, I think some people have shared links. Yeah, 3 years is $25, as Blogger is saying. If you haven't asked for a sample copy, you can ask for a sample copy and see what it looks like. And remember, it's a membership that you're getting into, not a subscription. You have the Messenger, but you also have the Zoom meetings, and who knows what events that go through the year. Protocol Ireland, nice to have you on board. Happy solstice from Ireland, where the sun has just set. There's still plenty of light. So that's cool. Paul in Vermont, nice to have you here. Richard Lemke, nice to have you in the chat room here. What else do we have? Anything else, Chris? Nice to have you here. What do we have here? Let me check it out. So here we're going to just gonna put something here. Move. Yeah, there we go. Mike WX50, Shell's first shows. Oh, God. What else? Let me go fast here. I'm going to go. Yeah, the on the streams, they have a buffer because if something happens on the network, there's it can compensate and you don't notice anything. Anything else? Anything else? Okay, I'm going to go for my tech duties. And why do I say tech duties all the time? I'm going to go for my caregiving duties as we have 9 minutes before the BBC broadcast. Nice to have everybody here. Hope everyone enjoyed that Zoom that we shared with the people here. DH1AO, nice to have you here. Northern Germany, Scatology, actually pretty sensitive radio compared to the DU808, which the DU109WB doesn't have sideband, so I guess SSB list radio for more sensitive. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. The D109 for me is I don't see that much difference between the D808 and D109 though. So I'm going to be back in a few minutes as I will be going a little bit for my checking on everything is all right. I put my radio on 12070. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a good one, but we're going to try all frequencies also as we go through. And back in a few minutes with a new beer and checking out the stuff. So we are back, and we are a couple of minutes away from what is the annual BBC midwinter broadcast to Antarctica. So Fred Waters says should do that again sometime. Good promotion for CIDX, definitely. Definitely. So what else do we have? Janet still watching on my iPad. Great. What else do we have? Escutado Pipas. Nice to have you here from Portugal. Trying to listen with is PL 880. There's a good chance you're going to get that broadcast there in Portugal. Yeah, if you sent my WX50, if you sent 25, you actually renewed for 3 years. There is no 2-year option. Skidology, the D808 I got appeared to have had some refurbishing work. Before I got it because Dad opened it to try and fix it. And he saw there was a man-made solder spot near the telescopic. Oh, maybe somebody fixed the antenna. Look at I got on the PL 990 for this historic occasion. It's AM, free to choose. It's a BBC broadcast. So usually the signal will pop up about 30 seconds to a minute before. And it's going to be very interesting to listen to this as we are a couple of minutes away from the BBC broadcast, which I would be surprised not to hear, especially on 12070. We'll try all frequencies here, see which one is the best as they get on the air. It's kind of exciting. You know, it's kind of fun to wait and have it pop up as signal and see that you get the broadcast. It's always sad when it's over. Also, it passes so quickly. It's just crazy. Shortwave Archive, nice to have you on board from Colorado. Everything is set up, hoping to catch it. Missed last year, sadly. So it's definitely going to be interesting. There should be some signals popping up somewhere. That's your flying 460. 9510. 1207. Now, here we go. Oh, very good signal on 12070.
Hello, I'm House Matthew, here to welcome you to the Antarctic Midwinter broadcast. It's a program of greetings and music for members of the British Antarctic Survey overwintering in the frozen south. As we reach our longest day in the Northern Hemisphere, you're marking the longest nights of midwinter. But even though it's cold and dark, this is also a time to welcome the point when light and warmth begin their gradual return. Over the next half hour, we'll celebrate with the intrepid few of you working away at vital science in the ice and snow, bringing messages from family and friends. So let's head south, first to King Edward Point on the island of South Georgia, where the small team awaits their messages. Among them is Adam Owen, who hopefully joins me on the line now. Are you there, Adam?
I'm here. Greetings from King Edward Point, South Georgia.
Could you describe the weather and perhaps look out of the window where you're at and describe what you can see as well?
The weather today is immaculate. Out here, look straight out face, we have the bay. It's very still and calm today. And you have all the mountains in the distance, which is covered in snow at the moment. And it's just a nice, bright day. We're lucky in South Georgia because we're not quite as far south. We still get a bit of the sun, but the case is actually covered by the mountains, so we don't get the sun out face, unfortunately. but also you get to go out on the boats sometimes, and that's a really good way of being able to catch the sun and get away from the island and out to sea.
We often think of research stations as staffed by scientists, but it takes a whole team to keep a place like that running. You're an engineer. I'm just wondering how you came to be there.
I just met people on my travels. I was talking about Antarctica, and I was like, there's research stations in Antarctica you can work at. I couldn't believe it. So I applied, got the job. Rhode Island was the first year, so it's very much chucked in at the deep end, because that is a very small base. There's only 4 people there now, and you've got 7 months with your little team to endure winter. It's about the team. If you've got a decent team, which we have here, which I had at Rhode Island, it makes it so much easier.
It is time now for us to say some messages for yourselves at King Edward Point, and your choice of music is Walking on a Dream by Empire and Son.
Great choice.
So let's go 94. I'm going to try the other frequencies, see what it... So 9460. I hear it. It's not very strong, but it's there. I hear it very weak on 9510. So 9460 and 9510 are just barely there. 12070 definitely is D frequency here.
Hi, Deirdre. Hope you're enjoying midwinter celebrations and you managed to get out for a wee jaunt if the weather's good. Look forward to seeing you at Christmas. Lots of love, Mum and Dad. Mary, Emily, Rachel and Jane. Hello, Chris, my lovely man. Sending greetings to wish you a happy midwinter break. I'm marvellous with your friends and Georgia. And so everything to wear is now something you can tick off your to-do list. Hope you're having a wonderful celebration this special day. I think celebrating Midwinter Day might become our new tradition. Anyway, I'm missing you loads, and I send you all my love from your wifey, Nancy.
Really good. Just got over it. I miss you.
As they have the greetings.
You know, you're a wacky penguin size. And we're doing great things over there and having a ball at the time of our parties.
Let's have you here, Brian Penny. And he's getting it S9 in Cape Cod.
We all miss you so much here.
Oh, Kenneth, you're not hearing it at all.
We hope you're staying warm there and keeping cheerful.
I would have thought 12070 might make it to Arizona.
We're very proud of you and can't wait to have you back home. Love you very much. Rena and Dasha. Hey Joe, how's your best hand? So proud of you. Love you lots and lots. I love you, Uncle Joe. Hi Uncle Joe, I'm so proud of you and we love and miss you so much.
Hey Joe, hey, hopefully you're having a fantastic time over there. Look forward to hearing about it.
Hi Joe, it's Auntie Sarah and Stephen here. We're wishing you a very happy midwinter. We're so looking forward to seeing you when we come to Falkland. Happy midwinter! We love it! We love it! We love it! And you? Hello Camille, it's my family from a much warmer place. Véronique, Lena, Chiara and Manu. The penguins may be cute, but remember you already have 3 sisters. Although, to be fair, they probably complain less than we do. And if they start following you around, you know you finally found a friend to listen to your science facts. Antarctica may be freezing, but we are so happy keeping you warm. Love you! Ferrata. Since you've been gone, the world has gone fast. Michael Carrick deserved, yes, he's built to last. Frozen in time, Tony Mammoth returns, the David 100, and making Nav Centurion. Our kitchen island isn't the same without you. I'm down to 1 bottle of Merlot from 2. Something must be in the air in Grittican that puts you at ease, and all 4 brothers have finally found a new split. But from us all, we are very proud of you.
Hello Emily, it's Fish here.
It's Fred, Christine.
I'm just letting you know that we're missing you and looking forward to you coming home.
Yeah, missing you. We'll watch Bridesmaids when you get home. And we asked Donkey if he wanted to join in, and he just looked at us a bit blankly. He didn't know who you were anymore.
Yeah, he said I don't know who's Emily. See you soon.
Love you.
Love you, bye.
So some greetings. A lot of people are hearing it. RJ Dakota 12070 and good, pretty good. And it's better the further I move away from houses. Yeah, that's the noise for you. Stephen Wright got 9460, very good in UK.
And best wishes to all the team at King Edward Point. Next, we're going to head west to an even more remote lump of rock called Bird Island. It's staffed overwinter by just 4 humans and several thousand penguins, seals, albatross, and other wildlife. Adam, you spent the winter there 2 years ago. Is it very different from King Edward Point?
It's incredibly different, yeah, considering how close they are to each other. The weather, for a start, the wind is constantly hitting base. For some reason, the sun seems to shine in South Georgia, but Bird Island has its own microclimate that is just constantly grey. It's very dense with wildlife even throughout the winter, and plus the isolation of Bird Island is another level. It's 7 months without seeing. You maybe get one ship that would come and deliver some pressures, and I think just check that you're both still safe. But yeah, so it's a very different proposition to Bird Island, but they're both great in their own way.
Adam, when it's so cold in places where you've been working and you're the only technician, are there any special problems with the plumbing?
Bird Island, it was the coldest winter in 40 years down there, which brought a lot of problems. The water supply pretty much stopped today, so we have water tanks that need to be filled up, and we get that from the stream, rain, or snow melt. And it was that cold consistently, and we weren't getting anything, so then we had to reduce space to showers every other day and think of ways of trying to create water. Melting snow isn't as easy as you think, it's a lot of hard work. And we had problems on waste pipes as well. And then to empty the waste pipe, that was my job every few days for, honestly, maybe 2 to 3 months. So I got used to smells and got very good at that. But it was a tough time at the time. But now I look back at it, I wouldn't change it for the world. It was a really proper Antarctic experience.
So tell us about the other extreme, entertainment. What do you do to keep yourself amused?
There's lots of things that we get up to. There's probably at least twice a week we'll just chill out and have, film nights and things like that. Lots and lots of board games. I think actually midwinter week we'll probably be setting up different kind of themed bars around base and just using like different stores, different offices, and everyone takes a room and they'll make their own little bar that we can go. It's like a night out back home basically, which is really cool.
You can go in a pub crawl. I love it.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. And it really works.
And traditionally you watch the Antarctic horror films of fame.
Yeah.
I think, Adam, as well, you try your hand at small-scale horror films yourself. Any success at that?
Success might be a strong word. Yeah, we did The Shining. It was an idea that we came up with at Bird Island. It just works there. Obviously, it's isolation and people going a little bit crazy anyway. So we're like, well, this is going to be an easy film to act out. So yeah. We didn't win anything, unfortunately, which we were a bit upset by. We worked really hard on it, but it's nice just to focus on that for a couple of days.
Adam, before we hear the messages, I think you'd like to shout out to Sarah, your girlfriend, who's now back in Ireland, to tell Sarah you miss her and love her very much. That's a message from Adam to you, Sarah. Thanks so much for joining us, Adam.
Thank you very much.
From what I understand, I think the 4 that are working on Bird Island this winter are going to be really excited to hear these messages. It is time for your messages, Bird Island team, and your requested song, Sea Shepherd by Ferocious Dog.
So very good signal of BBC. Midwinter, it's nice to hear the greetings for the families and everybody. It's really kind of cool. It's really cool to hear, I have to say. Thank you, Mark, for the donation through PayPal. And thank you so much, Japco1, for a donation on a super chat. Much appreciated.
Love and mum, dad, Dan, Noel, and Monica D.
And in love the heart, welcome to this from what was still to home. Enjoy your birthday in the snow. So we thought that was a guy with a whoopable bus in the rescue with one day in his income research and not topic for career. Chances are I'm not out about this week anymore. The Bible started with the last policy to send to me by WhatsApp.
Hey, it's Brian. Georgia. We love you, miss. Hello, Craig. This is your dad, and I'm with your nan and Jackie.
Hello, Craig. This is your nan.
Hello, Craig. This is Jackie. Craig, we're just looking forward to you coming home. We'll have a nice time. Hi, Craig. How you feeling? All best from Grandad. Hi, Grandad. Thinking of you, love Mum. Hi, Katie, Denise. Love and miss you. Let's come to you. Hi, Catherine. It's Mum and Joanna here. Happy midwinter. Hope it's not too cold down there. We love you. Sending big hugs. Hello, Catherine. Enjoy your midwinter celebration. Happy midwinter, Catherine. Me and Pepin miss you so much and we love you. We're so proud of you. Keep doing this amazing thing you're doing. Don't stop sending those crazy pictures of the seals. They are hilarious and amazing. Love you lot. Bye.
So it's kind of fun to have all the comments of everybody. And you did see an appearance of Paul the Cat. And he was attracted, I guess, with the BBC midwinter broadcast.
In marine life, scientists on Bird Island study it. Those messages for the four on Bird Island. I'm Paris Matthews, and this is the Antarctic Midwinter Broadcast, coming to you from the BBC World Service in London. Now a message to everyone overwintering in Antarctica from the Director of the British Antarctic Service, Professor Jane Francis. Hello, all of you in our stations in Antarctica, and a happy midwinter to you all. I hope you're really enjoying this fantastic adventure that you're in of being in Antarctica during the winter. A very, very special place that not many people are able to experience. And I'm sure that most people think that you're sitting there in the cold and the dark. But actually, the most amazing skies in the winter, and that you can see wonderful colours of pink and purple and red in the skies that we just don't see anywhere else on Earth. So I hope that you're really enjoying this very special place. But you're there for a very special reason too, and that is to support the science that we do and to look after the buildings, particularly the new Discovery building in Rotherham, which this is the first winter since we opened the building in January. So I hope that those of you in Rotherham are really enjoying quite a comfortable existence in that new building there. Enjoy all the messages from your family, and I hope that you'll be keeping up the traditions of Midwinter's Day across the whole of the Antarctic continent, perhaps contacting some of your colleagues in other stations. I know that sometimes you have an opportunity to make a little movie that you share across the continent, and perhaps playing games. I gather that sometimes you share darts across the Antarctic community. And I know that somebody cheated one year and actually won the competition, but they didn't have a dartboard. So I hope that all of you are having fun, even though you're miles away, in that very, very special place. So have a brilliant day, celebrate well, and enjoy all the messages from your friends and families. Jane Francis there, Director of the British Antarctic Survey. Now we head further south, crossing the Antarctic Circle to the largest research station, Rotherham, on Adelaide Island. And there are some messages for you. And your first music choice, 2 More Years by Block
So 12070 definitely coming in very well here. And it is absolutely RJ Dakota. I mean, you know, taking the time. And I mean, it's just a handful of people down there. And I don't know if you heard them talk, but they do a hearing of they watch John Carpenter's The Thing there every year. It's a tradition, and they just talked about it, that they've just seen the movie, which must be a very unique experience.
Robert, George is your dad. Where are the jumble leaves?
And I miss you loads, and I haven't told anybody about your chocolate stuff. I'm so proud of you, and you're absolutely going to ace it out there. I miss you so much, and I love you lots, like jelly tots.
Happy Solstice Day from Josh.
Jeff.
And David Attenborough. Just remember, you're only 6 months away from a hot fresh meal.
Hi, a message for Katie Kramer. It's Karina, your husband, but also here, Mum Janet, Brother Steve, nephews Ashley and Ollie, and not forgetting Elsa. Don't panic. The sun is still here. It's just out of sight. What do you call it? Snowman. Children.
Like it's Steve. I thought you were a snowman to celebrate. Unfortunately, it's not a puddle, and there's just a carrot in it. Good try.
Happy New Year. This is a message for Alex and Faith at Rotter. Hi, Alex. It's Mum and Dad. on the World Service. We suggested we sing a song or make up a poem, but we didn't really think the world was ready for that yet. We missed you, and not just because we needed the roof fixing. Anyway, without trying to embarrass you any further, I'm running out of time. I'm currently doing the celebrations, and I really look forward to seeing you when you're back in Blighty. Oh, you can stop rolling your eyes now. Bye! This message is for Ethan Hart. It's Maddie. I'm the designated spokesperson for the family as well as the cat. We honestly so enjoyed so much. We're incredibly proud of the work you're doing. This has been a dream for us for so long, and you've come so far. It's fun to brag to people that my brother works in Antarctica, though it's still surreal when I say it. When we say to Mr. Fisher Campari, and we can't wait for you to be home and you can see for yourself that it's worth letting me look after your record player. Thank you always for Mum, Dad, Josh, Roman, Jensen, Maddie, and all the cats. P.S. I can't wait to meet these things. We just wanted to send you a huge hug from home. We're incredibly proud of you and everything you're doing out there at Rotherham. Keep making the most of every moment. Stay safe and remember we're thinking about you every day. We love you loads and can't wait to hear about all your stories when you're back. From Mum, Dad,
Lewis, Oliver,
Jane,
Jason.
we love you lot.
Happy immigrants to them. Love you, miss you lot. Say hi to the penguins from me. Love, Katrina.
Bye.
Hello, Uncle Jerry. It's Hazel here. I just wanted to know one of the penguins for me because I just love penguins. Hello, Uncle Jerry. It's Dexter here. I wondered if you could take some more photos of the wildlife on Antarctica because I really like seeing them. Hi, Jerry. Happy midwinter. Bye. Bye. Have a beer. Good night. Lots of love from Mum.
And from Dad. Hope it's not too dark and cold down there. Hello, this is a greeting for John Paulus Frigley. Hi, it's Dad.
Hi, it's Mom. Hi, it's Chris. And Granny says hi too. Look after yourself and others, JP. You made us so proud. We love you and we miss you.
Stay strong, JP.
Happy winter solstice. Embrace the winter.
Hi, Jay. It's Josh, Ted.
Hi, Marilyn.
Sending you warm wishes for the winter solstice.
We hope this message brings you a little warm underway. Swaddy holiday. Wishing you a happy winter solstice. Lots of love from Mum and from Thailand. With lots of love to Andrew Rayford from Woodland. Did it record? It's very confusing.
Told that boarding out to Antarctica. I had the best ice joke to tell you. Slipped my mind. Recently I got in the face by a swimming pool. Not without telling you. Right, we've got 10 seconds to say hello to Andrew.
Message for Ashley Dreamtime. Well, hi, Tom. This is a surprise message from your mother, Becca. I'm sending this by voice recording because I couldn't work out how to do it by the instructions, as you're not here to help. I hope you're having a great adventure, and I know you'll be working hard because you always do whatever you're partaking. Dad says don't forget him, Private Joe. And we won't say she misses your beard. Stay safe and look after yourself, and all those guys in Antarctica with you. Miss you, love Mom.
Hello, Andy. Here's a little poem, what we wrote. A is for Antarctica. It's for record seal.
A is for an amazing achievement.
S is for scuba diver.
T is for time indoors. A is for aviation adventurer. I is for astronaut.
And R is for returning sun.
Hi, Auntie and Eddie. It's really and Spencer here. We miss you. Hope you and Mr. Penguin are having fun. See you soon. Love you. Bye. Hi, Auntie Lou. We miss you. We hope you're having a nice time. Love from Annabelle and Isabel.
Those that you know, when you put kids on that have these little greetings, we miss you and all. It's so touching.
We celebrated 70 years of this broadcast, but the midwinter festivities go back even further than that. Archivists at the Royal Society in London have begun digitising photographs from the first Antarctic midwinter celebrations that were held during Robert Scott's discovery expedition between 1901 and 1904. Our editor, Richard Hollingham, went to visit Digital Resources Manager Liliane Ferrier deep in the Society's archives. We're looking at a volume of photographs taken by Reginald Skelton, who was on board of the first British Antarctic expedition, which is the first to overwinter on purpose
And I think this is a very big distinction to actually be made here.
Rather get stuck in it.
Rather than get stuck. So they're prepared, and as part of their preparation, they've decided to celebrate midwinter. And you can see that they've put in a lot of thought through this photograph.
Such a lavish celebration. Looking at the picture here, it's got Union Jacks hung from the ceiling of the ship, decorations that look to be handmade, beer, a lot of beer. There's a lot of beer, actually. And what's so weird about the beer is it's the same brand as the beer today. It suddenly seems very modern, even though this is from 1902.
No, exactly. They're trying to reproduce Christmas in the middle of what is their winter. And so they pretend it is Christmas, and to boot, they have gifts. So we have, next to the photograph album, the volume by Scott of the Voyage of the Discovery, and he describes how the preparations are put together, how they create all of the fun things, all of the decorations that we can see on the images. I mean, it includes a large box of presents provided by the kindly thought of Mrs. Wright, the mother of our first lieutenant. And this is the entry for June 23rd. We kept our midwinter festival today, as yesterday was Sunday, and the ship has been unset. The mess deck was gaily decorated with designs in coloured papers and festooned with chains and ropes of the same material. The tables were loaded with plum puddings, mince pies, and cakes, mostly of home manufacturers, but nonetheless sweet and seen appearing. On each table stood some grotesque figure or sensible erection of art, cunningly lighted up with candles from within, and sending forth shafts of sparkling light. Really quite a lovely celebration, and just trying to light up the dark months.
The museum's very talking to Richard Hullingham in the Royal Society Archive. Now the rest of the mustard for Rodera, and another music choice, Tom Paine's Bones, by the Trials of Pete.
So, Chris, to answer your question, yes, this is off my end fed sloper antenna on the Yaesu. And it's coming in very, very, very well. And Fred Waterer says they mentioned beer as Gilles has a sip. Coincidence? It's subliminal. It's like, those subliminal messages. Like you do things because they tell you to and you don't realize. Angpar, nice to have you on board. For those that don't know what we're doing, this is the BBC Midwinter broadcast.
From his parents, Carol and David, Liam will wish you and all working at Bad Spaces in Antarctica a most enjoyable midwinter celebration. We send you our love and best wishes, as do relatives and friends.
You are in our thoughts always, and will be especially when we return to Ireland and revisit Tom Queen's home place. With our love.
Hi Tom, it's me, Sarah, sending you lots of sunshine and love from home. Absolutely love hearing their amazing stories. Happy Midwinter's Day.
Hello Tom, Mum and Dad here. We hope you're having a great time. We think of you often, especially as you celebrate this Midwinter Day, no doubt in memorable fashion.
We're really proud that you're supporting the work taking place in Antarctica, and are grateful for this opportunity to send
all our best wishes and all our love.
This is the spirit from the stars. Happy winter solstice. I'm thinking of you dearly. Love you.
Hi Chris, Mum here. Hi. Happy Midwinter. Can't believe about 6 months you've been away. I hope you enjoy all the celebrations. Love you. Bye. Bye.
Hi Robbie, you're in the here. Hope Midwinter is as good as Orkney's. Take care.
Hi Robbie, this is Granny and Joanna to you. Keep up the good work. Hi Robbie, it's Mum, Dad and Jack here. We miss you and we love you so much. Very proud of you. Have a great midwinter celebration. Hello Robbie, happy midwinter. We miss you and are very proud of you. Love from the viewers.
Scott, it's the Kerrys all here in Tenerife of long landed. Their weather's a wee bit better than yours and in sun. But we're all missing you. Can't wait to you home again. You've got a big year ahead, you get married and that, so all the best, son. Stay safe, and we can't wait to your home.
Love you. Hi Scott, it's Ashley, aka the future Mrs. Kelly, and the beloved Sophie here. I'm doing back home and so proud of you. We love and miss you so much. Have a great winter.
Hi Josh, we hope you're having a great time. We miss you loads.
Miss you, love you.
Don't need any more photographs of penguins. When you take one, you see them all. Hello, Thomas, Dad. I hope it's been a great time. Missing you loads, lots of love.
Love you, Tom. Love you, Tom. Love you, Tom. And so he goes,
Tom, love you, bro. We love you so much. It's me and you here. Wishing you the best. Antarctica.
Hi, Michael. You're okay. We look forward to hearing from you.
Hi, Uncle Michael.
Love you.
Love you.
Hi, Michael. I'm so proud of all you've achieved. Come a long way since the kitchen incident, which we won't mention. Love you lot. Have a fantastic time.
All right, Michael. Hope you're having a wicked time. Don't lose too many times. See you when you're back. Love you, bye. Bye. But stay warm, man. Don't get eaten by anything.
Miss you. I wish you were born without you.
Love you.
Hi, Mike. Well done.
Hi, Matt. Stephen. Missing you at Park and Chester Street. Here's the time.
Hi, Matt. You take care. We miss you. Have a wonderful time. Here's Laura. Hi, Matt. Looking forward to the chronicles of Matt. Lots of love. Here's Nigel.
Hi, Matt. Nigel. Enjoy your winter. See you in March.
Hi, Mike. Charlie. Pick up your phone for us, please. Miss you lot this morning.
Have a nice wonderful winter. Can't wait to see you soon. And we've got one special message from Pete Glither via email. Just a little note from Mum and I hope you're doing okay. I'm coping with the very cold weather over there. You're doing a great job keeping everything operational for the back team. Keep doing what you're doing and see you when you get back at Christmas time. Love from Luke and Mum.
Truly amazing when you think about it. And it's amazing to think, how the Earth is. Like there it's winter and Antarctica is rough winters. And there's a bunch of people there going through that on that British Antarctic survey.
To everyone at Rosetta and all the other research stations in Antarctica supporting the scientific work of 27 nations. And to all our listeners in slightly warmer parts of the world, happy midwinter.
They're ending with the Bangles, Hazy Shade of Winter.
Now with the Bangles upbeat take on Simon and Garfunkel's Hazy Shade of Winter.
So this is that was a good song. It's actually, for those that didn't know, she said it. Hazy Shade of Winter by the Bangles is actually a song taken from Simon and Garfunkel, and they actually made it real popular. So this is really nice to have a broadcast like this. Sorry if I'm talking over the song, but I don't want to have copyright strike on my live show. Unfortunately, that's the way it works with YouTube. So we're almost at the end. Man, this every time it hits me, this goes by so freaking fast. It's like it just started and it's already over. And I guess we'll have it again next year if...
Fantastic Midwinter broadcast was presented by me, Karis Matthews, and produced for the 20th year. Congratulations by Martin Redfern in the Boston Media production for the BBC World Service.
So, yeah. Susanna Hoffs, you're talking about Mike WX50. I saw that band live in the local park in the 90s, early 90s. And the friend that I was with was totally in love with Susanna Hoffs. And there you go, guys. It dropped just as it started. An empty frequency again. So that was cool. There's no other words. There's no other words. That was just freaking cool, as usual. And for those that couldn't hear it, well, I'm glad that I could have just have the audio go through here, so you guys at least could live with it and hear it. Floaty VK6 CRF was able to pick it up on my small word portable outside. I've just come back inside and it's too cold. It's winter in Southwest Australia. So that's cool. So this is really nice. This is such a fun thing. As someone mentioned in one of the, first of all, I want to thank Fun With for the $10 donation. Thank you so much. And don't forget, guys, super chat here if you like what I do. We got this extra show today. How cool is it? We went to the CIDX Zoom meeting. Isn't that cool? Well, you know what? This is thanks to, in big part, to you guys supporting me. So super chat and PayPal. Any amount helps. All right. It doesn't matter how much you send. The fact is, if everybody sent $1, it'd be a ton of money, and it wouldn't be a lot for most. So we have to thank, and I want to thank everybody that donates. It's a handful of people, and so think about it. Just don't want to annoy you with it, but think about it. And don't forget, tonight, I did promise yesterday, we will end with the famous Moscow night dance when this show's over. So you got to stay here. You got to watch that. You got to take it out. Thanks, Radical Squadron, for the donation. Much appreciated. And remember to join the CIDX Club. And we're continuing our show. I was looking at BBC. In an hour's time, we've got some number stations from Russia. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue on. And in an hour's time, we're going to try for those number stations out of Russia. See if we hear them. There's going to be, and the first one's going to be at 16,342 kilohertz. So we'll have fun checking that out. I just checked if radio Voice of Turkey's on, and it is not. So a typical Voice of Turkey glitch where it doesn't turn on for the English language. Sometimes they're late, could be a few minutes late, but 11780 Brazil's coming in really well. So it's pretty cool to have this going on. And what else do we have? It would be funny if they were listening in on the Antarctic, via my stream. Fred Water says, yeah, that's funny. I wouldn't be surprised that some people have overloaded some Kiwi SDRs just because they're here and they don't hear it, so they went to some other Kiwi SDR to try to hear it. Kenneth in Arizona couldn't hear it, but he's listening to it. He listened to it through his iPad thanks to my receiver. So I was glad to bring that up to you. If you guys didn't hear it, at least you could hear it live with us through the stream, which is also very nice. I remember a few years where the signals weren't very good because of the frequencies chosen and also propagation conditions sometimes. But this year, man, 12070, perfect. A great reception here. And I guess for the East Coast of North America, it was great to be there. Fred Water says this is intended for about 30 to 50 people. I wonder how many hundreds, thousands are actually tuned in. Yeah, there are a lot more people probably tuned in through the world on shortwave and with their radios than just those people there. So it's kind of nice. I wonder, and this is a curiosity that I have, they do use shortwave, and you would think that they probably have been using radios to listen to it, but also it is streamed live. So I wonder down there in the Antarctic survey in Antarctica, are they using a radio to hear it, or are they just streaming it? And I would guess they must be using radios. The BBC would, that's my personal take on it, is the BBC would not go through all of this to, know that they're just streaming. Then again, maybe the BBC also knows that enthusiasts everywhere want to hear it. So I don't know. It would be kind of interesting. It kind of be kind of interesting, basically, to know how do they listen to it down there? Are they just streaming it? And maybe the BBC's this is kind of a an extra gift to enthusiasts that want to hear it at the same time. I don't know. I'd like to know. It'd be interesting to see that. Chris, Gilles could act as a relay station for it and broadcast to the world. So thanks everyone for telling me, that. Thank you for streaming the live feed. So yeah, remember to join CIDX. If you enjoyed that Zoom, you see all the people that were there. You get a bulletin that's just amazing. It's very simple. If you want to have a sample copy, it's CIDX Club it's sample at CIDX. I'm going to send it here. CIDXclub.ca. And if you want to send a membership fee through by mail, because you don't have PayPal or anything, CIDXclub.ca is the website. There is the postal address where you can send your money order or check to pay for your membership. 10 years, $10 for a year, $25 for 3 years. This is the website. Go and check it out, and why not join one of the few clubs left around the world, basically, and a great club. And that bulletin, I tell you, it's one of the best. I've seen bulletins through the last 30 years of different clubs. I have no hesitation in saying that CIDX has the best bulletin of all the clubs out there, and particularly today. So, check it out. Check it out. So, Funwit, thank you for the donation, and thank you also. Shortwave Archive, Gilles and Moscow Nights. I have to stay for that. Mark says, thanks, you saved me money with your reviews. I got my shortwave radio. Pretty cool. Robert Stratton, nice to have you here. 12070 on the ATS Mini and a no-name pocket AM/FM shortwave radio in Great Falls, Virginia. Pretty cool. DK1EY, nice to have you here. 12070 using a Texan PL330 with the telescopic antenna. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. RJ Dakota, so sorry I didn't know you were staying on. Oh yeah, I'm not stopping right now. We're going to continue a little more. I'm here. Might as well stay a little. Hey, we're having fun, aren't we? So thanks, Mike Hill, for the donation through PayPal. Much appreciated. And Gabriel says, I posted a Facebook a little video of how the broadcast was received here in noisy Montevideo. So cool. At least you heard it. Fred Water, Russian numbers. Maybe you're going to attract some people by doing that, Fred. Maybe some people are, so thank you, Mike WX50. I've received it. Mark is the official channel. Come on in, shortwave listening and numbers listeners. J Projects, nice to have you here. BBC4, expect QRT next week, June 26th, midnight. That is a sad news to hear that the long wave is going to be turned off. Andrew was a little noisy at first here in the deep south of the US, but started coming in clear around halfway, thankfully. Cool. The studio head says 9450 and, what do you mean 9460 and 12070, both strong in the south of France. Cool. Fred Water, that is what's scaring me about this BBC Antarctic broadcast, is that BBC is having a hard time and there's a lot of cuts. So that BBC being there this year, we got to cherish that, because there's no guarantee that they are going to have that next year. we can't count on it. We have to think that hopefully it'll be there in 2027, but it might not be. And that we've got to be grateful that this year it was there. BBC is having a really hard time with their budget. So, the cuts could make it to the point where, nope, we're not doing that this year, which would be sad, but, it might come to that. Shortwave archive, 12070, entered into my logbook. Scalology, I didn't know you were staying on. Just, I think people thought that we're leaving. No, we're not. Escudados says, I use my Texan PL 880 MLE30 Plus antenna near Lisbon, Portugal, and all frequencies are great. Also stream in my YouTube channel, so cool. Fredwater, if I ran a number station, I would yell bingo at the end of the transmission. That would be great. Bingo. Bingo. I don't know. If I ran what would I do if I ran a number station? I would end it with I would do it super long, like an hour and a half long. And then I would be, thanks for listening, you fools. CHU. How about anybody has a CHU story? I have shortwave archive. Jill, are you doing anything for CHU tomorrow? Well, I haven't thought of doing anything for CHU tomorrow. If it would be very short, because I've got a very busy day. It would be like, well, here's CHU and there's gone and then bye-bye. So I don't know. Maybe just I thought I would probably just record like the last half hour until the transmitter's switched off and put the video online personally. So who knows? Anything can happen. Anything can happen. DK1UI says 12070 from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. LeBaron, nice to have you here from Southern New Jersey. So Chris says Jill has a beer, so anything can happen. Yeah. So a little story. I think a little story would be when I started listening to. So here's the context. I got my Realistic DX100 about in August 1982. In the fall of 1982, my parents would always go to one of my uncles in Quebec City. And my uncle and like they were great people. And when I would go there, they would my aunt would cook all sorts of little desserts just for me and have candy boxes and stuff. So it was just so much fun being there that it's like, I didn't have to at that point. It's like my parents were like giving me the choice if you want to stay home for the weekend, you could stay home alone. But it was so much fun going to my uncle's in Quebec that I didn't want to stay home. I was like, no, I'm going to go to Quebec. I want to go there. And, they were happy to see me. So I would bring my DX100 with me. I would, put it in the car and, bring some wire and stuff. And I would set it up somewhere. And I remember it was in the kitchen. And the kitchen was next to the living room where they were actually, drinking, playing cards and doing stuff and talking. So I had my shortwave radio and I had set it up in Quebec City. And I did that, a few times. And I remember being in Quebec City and tuning CHU time signal being, I didn't have, it was only 2-3 months into being in shortwave. I had no idea what CHU was. And I had no idea what WWV was, but I knew they were giving time, but I kind of didn't know. I probably didn't even know where CHU was from. It was, I didn't have that information. And back then there's no internet and nothing. So I didn't have any info. All I knew that there was these stations giving time. I didn't know where they come from. They were very mysterious and so bizarre that I would sometimes tune them just for the fact that it was unusual for me to hear something like that. And so we were in Quebec City and I was tuning my radio. I had my headphones so as not to annoy anyone with the noise. And I remember I was tuning CHU and Quebec City and my uncles. I'm 13 years old at the time. And just having a great time being with my uncle and my aunt that were great. And tuning in to the time signal and being, I was in that phase of discovery of shortwave. And that phase of discovery is intense because there were so many things back then that it's like you're overwhelmed. It's like being overwhelmed by all the stuff that's there. And CHU is one particular signal that for me was, where is it coming from and why are they doing this? And so I guess we're like in September or October of 1982 at the time. And that has a memory in my head that it will never go away. It's like even when CHU's gone, I will have that thinking of my memory of CHU time signal in a fun environment, being at my uncle's in Quebec City, and just wondering what the hell is this. Tam Anderson, nice to have you on board from Scotland with a Texan PL 990X. Sheila, nice to have you here in Belleville, Ontario. You missed the Antarctic broadcast. Dean, thank you so much for the donation. It is much appreciated. Really helps me continue what we do here, guys. You have no idea, and thank you so much. So this is kind of a memory I have of CHU time signal. Hearing the bips and also wondering, past the 30th second when they have this little weird sound, thinking, what is that? And later learned, I think I'm in a, I think it's a Popular Communications or a maybe a Monitoring Times, where somebody was showing in an article how to use a an old 300 baud modem to decode the time signal data from that little chirp that they have at the 30th to 40th second. So, but it was this is a souvenir that's very unique. Fred Water, my grandfather was an engineer with CN Rail, driving trains across Canada. His watch had to be accurate within a few seconds. CHU started in 1928-ish. I wonder if he used it to set the watch. Yeah, I wonder. There are, us radio geeks, how do we set a watch? Often we set a watch because we're listening to WWV or CHU. Especially before the smartphones arrived. But if you want to have it really accurate, I remember my clocks, like the clock on the Kenwood R5000, and even the clocks on my portable receivers. I would tune CHU or WWV, and I'd press that button at the moment that the top of the hour, the top of the minute tone was there. So to have it as accurate as possible. And man, I was so proud to see that, when the little two dots that blink with the seconds, and you see the dots blink exactly to the pace of CHU's beeps or WWV's ticks. It's like, it's beautiful. It's like, you know, that's the weirdness of some of us, including me. But it's like, wow, this is so cool. Or setting my clock in the kitchen that has a needle, you know, those old analog style clocks, and you'd see that little needle go every second exactly at the pace of the time signal on shortwave. It's kind of fun. It's kind of cool. Mark says, good times, shortwave memories, even TV times. I remember experimenting with antennas and then into HF nowadays, CB and ham. Fred Waters says he died in 1943. I still have the watch. Oh, really? You have the watch? Wow. WM9K. Mark will have memories of listening to CHU as a shortwave listener many, many years ago. So sorry to see it go. Fred Waterer, he could be terminated if his watch was off. So that means he needed really precise time. I mean, how do you get precise time at the time when you're somewhere, especially at that time period? You know, I mean, there's no GPS, there's no computers, there's no nothing, there's no internet. You don't get accurate time, you know, looking at the sun and thinking, well, it must be 2 hours, 36 minutes, and 4 seconds. No. The only way was CHU or WWV. So it's a possibility. It's totally possible that he used the time signal of the day to get his watch accurate. So, you know. J Projects, absolutely. WWV for setting clocks whenever I can. Short of archive, I found my Nintendo DS last week. It had been missing for a few years now. I set the clock to CHU before they're gone. Skidology, it's so sad to see CHU go, but at least WWV is still around. Really wish it would have stayed through DOE because I don't get WWV that well inside. Yeah, Mike WX50, there are many time signal stations back in the day, received QSLs from VNG Australia and others, though none from CHU. LeBaron says, used to do that clock trick too. Mark says, sad to see any shortwave signals gone. Martin, nice to have you here. I have to admit, I used to use teletext quite often to send my watch. If you wanted something more accurate, you could call the service via phone or wait for the midday announcements after the news on FM. Oh yeah, I remember that. Do they still do that today? I remember the CBC, when you would listen to CBC or Radio-Canada and you got at noon, they would say, okay, well, this is the official time signal from the National Research Councils in Canada. At the start of the tone, it is exactly 12 noon. I remember they would do that. I don't know if they still do that today. Do they still do that on the radio today? I'd have to listen tomorrow at noon. I'd be curious. Okay. Escutazdos says, I am a communications operator in the Portuguese Navy, and in the past we used to synchronize the clocks at land-based and shipboard communication stations using the various time signals on the HF bands. Sheila says, so sad. CHU was part of listening experience as a kid. Hearing it seems so mysterious as a child. Such fond memories. Yep. Fred Wire said they ended that about a year ago. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay. That because I remember my mom listening to the radio on CBC or Radio-Canada because she would listen to the French one. And I remember every day I found that so interesting to hear that, okay, well, at noon, they would arrive and say, well, at the, this is the official time standard of National Research Council. At the start of the tone, it will be exactly 12 o'clock noon. So they stopped not that long ago, actually. Huh. J Projects KNX says the time each hour. NOAA weather occasionally breaks in with live read time. Mark says, I have been getting weather signals on 160 to 400 out of Wyoming now. That Weather Canada is gone. Must be ducting. Could be. When I every time I tuned the NOAA weather channels, I would always go around different channels because depending on propagation condition, tropoducting, temperature inversions, sometimes a channel that's empty, you get a weather channel from somewhere that you've never heard before. This is kind of cool. So yeah, that is sad. It's kind of an interesting thing to have. I mean, it could be useful. I mean, you want to set a watch or something or a clock still today. That could have been something that, you know, I would go and tune the CBC or Radio Canada to get that precise time. Fred Water, I used to have CBC on all day, and that 1 p.m. time announcement was a big part of my day. It was a reminder, 1 o'clock now, I have to do this. Yeah, that time changes, and I guess things change with that too. It's pretty amazing when you think about all the stuff we went through. Also, you know, we're talking about good old days of how we, you know, I don't like the fact that I'm getting older, but I do like the fact that I have memories of what shortwave looked like in the 80s, and wish I had realized more what I had in front of me back then. I missed out on so many things because I learned late. Like, for example, I think I started listening to shortwave in 82. I don't think I've heard my first pirate station until probably the early 90s, if not mid 90s, because I didn't know that there was such a thing as pirate stations. You know, when I discovered the ship to shore phone communications, which was so much fun to listen to on the HF bands, hearing all of these conversations in different languages. So, you know, Mike WX50, I log VNG Australia time on a signal on 4500. Wow. Free choose. The internet clock is not bad, though. Tells you the difference between your computer's clock and their clock. Yeah. But I don't know. There's something about, you know. Yeah, I remember when it was really, Mike WX50 says, I like YVTO Venezuela time station on 6100. I remember when it was, I think, 24 hours, because it still exists, by the way. You know that YVTO Venezuela time still exists, but it is like a restrained schedule on the time that they're on. So we don't hear it like we used to hear it in the past. And that I don't remember what's the schedule, but I remember there used to be, I think, 24 hours on 5000, and I would hear the pips of the time pips of Venezuela's time signal underneath WWV at night on 5000 kilohertz. So you guys remember the Ecuador station? The Ecuador time station, HD, what is it? It was HD2 something. It was on the 60-meter band, and I think it was on a ham band. It was on a ham band too. I'm trying to remember what frequency. WSI Umbrew, that's interesting, Jill. I really wasn't aware of pirate shortwave back in the 80s, 90s either. I think it wasn't until about 2010. Yeah, BPM in China still exists. You can, and with good propagation, you sometimes hear it in North America mixed in with WWV. RJ Dakota, I have a short snippet of VNG recorded on cassette. Yeah, I need to put that online. Yeah, YVTO still exists, but it has a very, very short schedule. Shortwave archive, yeah, HD2IOA, yeah, exactly. That Ecuador time signal, which I've heard many times here. One of their frequencies was in the amateur bands, if I remember well. The shortwave archive, I've only heard WWV, WWVH, CHU, BPM, and RWM time signals. And Mike WX50 shared the VNG info page. So it's pretty interesting. So today there's, if we look at, like, for example, let me check here, 5,000 kilohertz. What do we have? So BPM, WWVH Hawaii. One I've never heard, HLA, which is the South Korea time signal. Never heard that. Never heard that. 10,000. We have Ital cable. That one I've heard. If you ever hear on 10,000 kilohertz some music, Ital cable, the time signal from Italy, has music with their time signal. So it's not a pirate, it's the Italian time signal. I've heard that a few times. And Brazil has a time signal station on 10,000, which I've heard a few times also. PPE, Observatorio Nacional, 10,000 and from Brazil. And Monday to Friday for only 1 hour. Only 1 hour, 14 to 15 UT. LOL, Buenos Aires, time signal. Laugh out loud, time signal. So that's on 10,000. On 15,000, what's there? 15,000 has Italian time signal also, and BPM China with WWV and WWVH. So kind of interesting to see that there's a few of them left from, you know, from other places in North America. Kind of cool. Yeah, 3810. That's the one in the amateur band. I heard 3810 and 7600. Those are the frequencies, yeah. And 3810 was the one in the amateur band, which I would hear from time to time, listening to hams on the 80 meter band. So Mark says good info on 10,000. 82 DU, how serious is your main shortwave antenna? Well, they're as serious as they could be in my environment. So on my ham station here, the Yaesu has a half-wave end fed in the backyard. It's pretty good above 10 megahertz in a receive. And my ICOM here is on a magnetic loop. And that one is pretty good in receive below 10 megahertz. So they kind of compensate each other. If I need to hear something in the 3 or 4 megahertz range, I'm going to use the ICOM or any other radio because I have a multi-coupler. I have 4 antenna inputs for that magnetic loop. So I can use up to 4 radios at the same time. If I need to listen to something on the lower frequencies, magnetic loop, higher frequencies, I'll come to the Yaesu. It's the only one that has that. Because I transmit with it, I don't share it with anything else as to not blow anything up. So that's pretty much what I have here. But the noise floor here has become more and more of a problem. Although, you know, I guess I can't complain that much, you know, when you compare yourself to others. I mean, when I see some of you telling me, well, I don't hear this, I don't hear that, and zones where maybe you should, but it's probably because you have too much noise. Well, the cool thing about it is that, you know, I often hear the stuff that others don't. And there are some of you that have such quiet conditions that you hear stuff I don't. So it's kind of noisy, but at the same time, when I compare myself to others, yeah, okay, I get it. You know, I get messages often about how can you hear all of those stuff when I don't hear anything and I'm not that far from you. Well, it makes me realize, well, I guess it's noisy, but it's still manageable in an environment that I am. Short of Archive says if all goes bad, we could use time pips from REE and RNZ. Yeah, absolutely. Could also use the BBC ones if you get a frequency that's clear enough. BBC World Service. Hey Bert, have a good dinner, and it's always fun to have you here. So stay safe and have a good dinner. See you next week, Saturday at 20 hours UTC. One of the things we got to remember also today, we are the longest day of the year. That means that it's typical summer propagation. It's typical, you know, if I had a souvenir from this it means that, you know, when I got my DX100, that means that, hey, I'm getting into summer vacation where what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Just enjoy life for 2 months and, you know, listen to shortwave and do all of the stuff that I didn't do, like, you know, wake up early in the morning or, you know, do an all-nighter and try to get these stations I never heard. I remember staying up late to hear Trans World Radio Monte Carlo because they were transmitting at like 3 a.m. local time here in Montreal. So I would just, you know, stay up to 3 a.m. to listen to that, or wake up very early in the morning to hear Tahiti and all of these stations that were broadcasting in the morning. So Mine WX50 says I'm retired, so now I now have summer vacation year round. That's good. That's good. I mean, you know, I do YouTube stuff. It's not like it's not like a 9 to 5 job that you know, I have to work, but I have the luxury of listening to shortwave pretty much at any moment of day or night if I really want to. You know, I'm lucky for that. I can turn on my radio, you know, especially in the summer. It's a little less. In the summer, I do a lot of stuff, but I want to kind of get out. So maybe getting out with a radio. And when we get into fall and winter, you know, I'll wake up and get up and check out what I'm going to do in videos and stuff, and turn on the Yaesu and leave it on and see what's out there all day long. So, you know, that's also kind of cool. I'm not compressed by a schedule of any kind as long as I work and do enough videos and do enough stuff to get a decent paycheck. So I'm kind of lucky in a way. When most people have to go somewhere and be away where they can't tune anything, I have the luxury of, well, I'm working, but I'm next to a radio and I can turn it on and tune anything at any time of day when somebody tells me there's something on. So, you know, I guess I can consider myself lucky in that way, for sure. So that's nice in a way to have that possibility. And so yeah, CHU going away tomorrow is a definite big loss, unfortunately. And that is something that I find is sad. You know, $1,000 a day. That's not a lot of money for a government. $1,000 a day. That's all it takes to keep CHU running. I don't find that to be an extravagant amount of money to spend to keep an online time station. They use the excuse, like, the weather radio going off. They use the excuse, well, the systems are getting old and they'll need to be replaced and it's going to cost a lot of money. Well, CHU kind of uses that same rhetoric. Oh, well, we'll need to replace those transmitters soon and so on. And it's going to cost a lot of money, and that's why we're shutting down. For me, when you get to the, oh, well, now that we got to replace stuff, it's too expensive, I don't want to keep it on. I kind of find that to be a little bullshit, but, that's the way it works. But $1,000 a day. Come on. RJ Dakota, I used to listen to Radio RSA call-in show on New Year's Eve and have a couple of them on tapes. Oh, cool. That is so cool. There were so many special broadcasts over time also. You guys remember Radio St. Helena? That was the annual event everybody wanted to go and listen to. Radio St. Helena in the South Atlantic Ocean on 11092.5 kilohertz upper sideband. That was the thing everybody wanted to listen to. Boy, do I miss that. I called in, I think 2 years in a row. I called in to send greetings. And Sheldon Harvey, also the CIDX Club, called in. And it's great, hearing that transmission and listening to it all around the world. Boy, those are great memories of special events. A station that used to have, that's it exactly, Fred Waterer. I remember I called and I remember I got the phone bill and it was like, oh god damn, that much money for what was it, 2 minutes? It's just like 2 or 3 minutes. Hey, $15. Or when the phone companies would screw us up, of course. That was the time when the phone companies would screw us up. I remember going on the bulletin boards with my computer, and I had one that I would go to in the Chicoutimi area. And so I would call the bulletin board after 11 p.m. because it was the cheapest price to call, and I could stay there for a full hour for a decent, price. Because in the daytime, it was like, forget it. They were screwing us up like crazy back in the day with those phone charges. Short of archive, I turn on the radio and keep it on Radio New Zealand and Radio Nacional Amazona if they've got music. Mike WX50, remember when stations would have Christmas and New Year shows? Yep. RJ Dakota, I even called into the same call-in show. Mark says, I get so mad about that because $1,000 isn't that much a day, and they waste money elsewhere, but that's all I have to say. Yeah. And, there's the money wasted also because of incompetent bureaucrats that took decisions and made millions of dollars wasted. But yet $1,000 a day for that is, and Short of archive, everybody's used the everything getting old excuse that it doesn't work anymore. Meanwhile, Cuba still tries and consistently has problems. Yeah. And I mean, they've got worn out equipment that comes from the Soviet era. They're trying to maintain, it's, Cuba. I'm going to miss Cuba if they ever leave shortwave because of all of that. You know, you might not like the rhetoric, you might not like the politics, but there's not just that. It was like listening to Radio Moscow. You listen to what you want to listen to. You know, I like listening to Arnie Coro's DXers Unlimited. That was kind of cool. I mean, you know, that was a cool broadcast to tune in on Radio Havana, Cuba back in the day. So Chris working from home, which carried on from COVID, made it a lot more flexible for radio stuff. Yeah, indeed, it does. It does. So you know, it's something that is it's kind of interesting. There are stuff out there that you know, and meanwhile, there are some countries that are kind of trying to get back. We had a story on the International Radio Report about Gabon, Africa number one. If you guys remember Africa number one, they are trying to. They've got the rights back to all the transmitting stations and everything, and they are thinking about putting everything back up and working and being a voice in Africa. Nigeria. Apparently, there are really some engineers rebuilding and checking out Voice of Nigeria. They want to bring it up to be one of the big voices of Africa. There's Papua New Guinea that's also trying to rebuild all of it. And so, you know, will it happen? Because from we want to and we will, there's a very big difference. And so it not always is easy, but you know, we got to hope that maybe they will and they'll come back. And that's, you know, sees if some of them do come back, that shows that some people are thinking to the future and thinking that, you know what, there's a future for shortwave. There's a future for shortwave. Skidology, I wish Radio Canada International and Radio Australia were still around so I could listen to them. Yeah, a lot of people miss them. We miss Radio Canada International. You know, me and Sheldon talk about it all the time, and there's a Wojtek Wjazda, which has the RCI Action Committee, that he would love Radio Canada International to come back on the air. You know, we have all of these options today. You know, it would probably cost them peanuts compared to what it cost back in the day. And, you know, how about using that 500 kilowatt WBCQ high power transmitter? Put Radio Canada International on the air on that thing. And if not, you have WRMI. You could put some Canadian shows, Radio Canada International, a couple of hours a week on WRMI. People would be happy to have that back. But honestly, there's no radio. The CBC and Radio Canada don't care. They don't want to. They have zero intention in having something like that to take care of. So, you know, it's kind of sad. RJ Dakota says, even if I didn't like the opinions, RHC was always an interesting radio to listen to. I have tapes of Africa number one test broadcasts. Short of archive, I look at the newspaper from 1990 on AT&T IC's station WOO. Calls cost $5 a minute. Youch. Free to choose. What I love about Cuba is the way that they do miracles with nothing, maintaining those old Soviet transmitters and those old cars. Yeah. And the buses from Montreal that would run the streets. And those old buses that would be here from the STM in Montreal. Mike WX50, if you're nostalgic for radio programs in the past, there's a site that has 803 from shortwave stations. So I'm going to check that one out. Have you ever seen NCJ's Shortwave Archive? Oh, I've never seen this website. Thanks for sharing. This is great. I'm going to add this to my favorites. I mean, wow. I had no idea about this website. I have no idea about this website. I've never seen this. All right. All right. This is cool. I'm going to put this in my favorites. I'm going to open it up. Open it up on the other browser. This looks really, really nice, actually. Here it goes. There we go. I'm going to check that out for sure. Yeah, Africa #1 absolutely streams. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like Voice of Greece, yeah, the national Greek radio. Fred Waters says they are still pumping out shortwave receivers. Why would they if there were no market? I mean, they want to make money. If they do make shortwave radios, it's because they sell them. You know, a couple of years back, I asked Texan about how many shortwave radios they would sell, and they actually sent me an email back saying that they were selling 1 million shortwave radios a year. That's not a small number for shortwave radios. 1 million a year. I mean, who buys them? Apart from everybody that I tell them to buy one. Shortwave archive, lots of relays to use. Madagascar, yep. WBCQ, WRMI, Warfordton, Taiwan, UAE, now, and even France, the Issoudun, France transmitter site. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to hear the old stuff. I search YouTube regularly for all sorts of little gems of shortwave broadcasts from the past that are in there, and it's kind of cool. It brings you back in time too. It brings you, makes you nostalgic, basically. Shortwave archive says China must know something that others don't. They keep maintaining those many high-powered transmitters they have. Yep. I mean, the biggest transmitter site in the world pretty much is China now. They have so many, they have, hundreds of transmitters. It's not even 1 or 2 or 10 or 20. They're in the hundreds. They know that you got to keep that shortwave alive. Keegan DXer, I'm having the last of the rotisserie chicken and corn with mashed potatoes. Making me hungry now, Keegan. So, making all of us hungry. That sounds so good. So the next number station is in 15 minutes. And I'm going to put the frequency in. We're going to try it out. I'm going to actually punch in the frequency here. I'm just going to see what's on.
Tools for identifying which stations are on each frequency at specific times.
Oh.
For over a century,
Wave scan show playing on 15770.
Entertaining and influencing us. Each month, the Not Just Listening column features links to films, TV shows.
Talking about CIDX. That's kind of a funny moment.
Radio. The Radio Bookshelf looks at new and old radio-related publications. Plodding Along by John Figliassi is a subjective guide to hearing some of the best programs on radio through the use of podcasts. Indeed, this program, Wavescan, is available as a podcast as well. The Technical Topics column includes technical articles, equipment reviews, technology updates, and answers to technical questions. Information on equipment modifications, antenna designs, and projects are also covered. There's a ham radio column and a news column with miscellaneous news, notes, and schedules submitted by CIDX radios and friends. What's news is a collection of radio.
That's interesting.
From sources. So you can see that the CIDX Messenger is chock full of radio reading material each month. The club also has a monthly Zoom meeting for members. Annual membership, which includes the Messenger, is just $10 in Canadian or U.S. funds. They also offer a special.
Oh well, the this week's feature on
each month
Wavescan talks about CIDX Club. That's kind of cool.
Format, usually during the first week of each month. If you'd like to get a free sample of the Messenger, just send an email to sample@cidxclub.ca. That's sample@cidxclub.ca.
Oh well, that's kind of cool.
If you'd like to subscribe, you can pay via PayPal to the account cidxclub@yahoo.com. That's cidxclub@yahoo.com. You can check out CIDX's webpage, www.cidxclub.ca.
So let's put ourselves on 16342 for in 10 minutes, a little more than 10 minutes time. So yeah, that's kind of cool that they're talking about CIDX. Shulvarka, CRI is the Radio Moscow of today. Yep. Yeah, John Figliozzi. Peter Choose, yeah, and he was talking about you and the IRR too. Oh, wow. Okay. I know that he talked about me in the channel. They talked about me in the shortwave channel 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Somebody said, hey, the Wavescan picked up, talks about you. Oh, okay. Shortwave Archive, I used to get Wavescan from Reach Beyond Australia on 11870 during 825 floatery, but I never had plans in the early morning when it was on. Martin, I did a scan a while ago and have been at 15770, which comes in really well at the moment. So, cool. Yeah, sample at CIDX Club. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. And they actually have been, in the last year, 3 or 4 Wavescan shows actually took snippets of audio from things I was talking on the shortwave channel and used them in their show. So it's kind of, you made it a little bit when people start taking stuff like that and, using them in their own shows. Mike WX50, I imagined myself in radio heaven where it's free from noise. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, that obscure club, Fred Waterer, the CIDX club, which has these weird members. Oh, God. So we're going to try 16342. 16342 CW. That's 16341 upper sideband for those that don't have CW mode. And we'll see if we can hear any Shortwave Archive. I have you on cassette tape from NWS 900. Surprised to hear you on there. Huh. Okay. Scalology, by the way, if any of you guys have a deep SDR 101 clone lying around, message gone out. Okay, lying around, I would recommend you upgrade to 1.0.1 because some talented Russian modded the firmware to work with the clones. Okay. Okay. I need to get out my little odd radios. I've got a few of them, and they've been pretty much gathering dust more than anything else. And I need to get them out and start using them again. So This is interesting. When was that Wavescan 900? Okay. Somebody picked up that when I did a live show, and I started talking about, like yesterday, we talked a little bit about it, the possibilities of AI and neural processing units used in radio hobby. And I know that they found it interesting, my point of view of what AI could do for us on radio. They found it interesting and played part of the audio, which actually came, I believe, from a live show that I did. So the audio you have on that one is from a live show that I did like a few months ago. So I guess somebody found that, well, you know what? That's an interesting point of view about how, we can use technology and AI and radio also. So that definitely is kind of cool. So 8 minutes to go for M12 in St. Petersburg, Russia. I have no idea if it's going to come in, but we're going to try it. This one is pretty late for a high frequency like this at 2310 UTC. So days are starting to, I saw the comments earlier about, I think it's Killology that said, didn't realize that, Antarctica, wonder why it was called midwinter. And yeah, Antarctica, which is at the South Pole, is in the winter. They're in deep, cold winter. So, we hear up here in the Northern Hemisphere, it's summer, but they're having pretty much permanent darkness there in Antarctica right now, as it's winter, and winters there are pretty rough. So I'd be interested to see what's the temperature like outside their station right now. Skidology says, just don't use the original firmware for the deep SDR because it will break your device. It made that mistake, but I made that mistake, but luckily I was still able to enter bootloader mode, flash the correct firmware. Short of archive, do you have any QSLs from other Radio Australia sites besides Shepardon? Yeah, I think I have one which is from so they had oh man, what else? I don't remember by heart the different transmitter sites they used, but I do have a couple of QSLs that were from other transmitter sites. Australia transmitter sites, HF. So I'm trying to remember what the transmitter sites were that we're using. Darwin. They're using Darwin. They're using Shepardon. They were using yeah. I do have a couple of QSLs that are from the other transmitter sites. I have about 15 Radio Australia QSL cards. I found them to be so cool so beautiful that I would like just, yeah, Carnarvon, Darwin, Brand, and Linders. Yeah, I think Carnarvon, Darwin, and Shepardon. I think these are the three that I have QSLs confirmed from these stations, these different transmitter sites. But I have maybe 15 or 18 QSL cards from Radio Australia. They were so beautiful and so amazing. And I found it just so exotic and so fantastic that I could hear the other side of the world, that I would just write in because it was just so amazing to hear Radio Australia for me. I still get some of that sometimes on some transmissions, but it's not the same. I mean, it's so it's like I'm used to it. It's normal now to hear a transmission from the other side of the world, like Radio New Zealand, because now with all the 40 plus years of radio listening, it became a fact that radio waves transmit or receive so far away. But I still get a kick sometimes about, oh wow, but it has to be like specific. One of them that I have a kick when I hear it is when I tune the Navtex transmission from Iqaluit in the Nunavut area and receive that on my radio. And I'm like, wow, I'm receiving, a signal that's from the Canadian Arctic, pretty much. The Canadian Arctic Circle. And it kind of makes me realize this is kind of cool, receiving a station from there, receiving a signal from there. There's something about it that just makes it special, just like that. But it's easy to now, after 40 plus years, just get in the mode. I remember when I started listening the first few years, a signal was coming in from Portugal. Oh wow. From Sweden. Oh wow. From I would just be amazed that I'm receiving that country, and it's coming direct on the shortwave bands towards Montreal, and I could listen to it. And that is less, maybe one of the things that did make me realize it again is when I got my hand license. When I got my hand license and realized that I just replied to a CQ from a station in, Italy, and he's answering back. And I guess it's because of the transmitting capability. It kind of brought me back to, wow, I just talked to my microphone here, and my signal went to Italy, where it was heard really well, and a guy's answering back to me. And this is kind of really amazing. It kind of brought back that, it's amazing, So we'll see here if anything comes up on 16342. Short of archive, realized I could hear RNZ as early as 3 p.m. if you're on UTC or in Colorado, followed by those ABC Wontalk programs. Here on the East Coast, it comes in much later. Here on the East Coast, like here in Montreal, up here in Montreal, Radio New Zealand doesn't really give a signal that's decent until at least 02 UTC, which is local time 10 p.m. And that's when it starts coming in, and it gets a peak at about 03 UTC to 04 UTC. There's a big peak where it's very strong on 17.675. Then as you get to 0400 UT, which is local midnight, it starts slowly, it's fading out as the darkness path is actually moving to the west here. But then we get the other frequencies, like 11725. I think the other night I heard, what was it, 13690, I think they're using. I tuned at like 06 UT, which is 2 a.m. And it was very, very good on that frequency. So that was kind of cool. So are we going to hear our spy number station in 15 seconds, 10, 15, 20 seconds time on this frequency? This is something that's going to be interesting. Nothing at all. Nothing at all here on that frequency. Jay Farley says, do you think pirates will park on vacant CHU frequencies? Well, I can tell you one thing. If I would be a pirate, I would get on 7850 and start doing a pirate broadcast. Honestly, I do a pirate broadcast on that frequency. Why not? Use it. Do something with it. Mark says, cool, I like getting Navtex. Yeah, 841 in upper sideband, you tune 8415.5 and at 0330 UTC. And just parked there. Lately, the Iqaluit VFF Coast Guard, Canadian Coast Guard, has been very, very good on that frequency. So that's where you should park. So, hey guys, we're not hearing that. And we've been on for 3 hours. I did 5 hours yesterday. That's a lot of time on camera. And we had a great radio weekend. Don't forget, between 14 and 14:30 UT tomorrow, CHU is going to be switched off. I'm going to try to at least make a video of the last 15 to 30 minutes of the CHU broadcast before they switch it off. But that's the way it's going to go. So I'm going to go and eat because I'm hungry and take it easy for the evening. And it was a fun transmission today. This is just great. It was just so much fun to hear the BBC Midwinter broadcast today. This is always something fun. Don't forget that it will be at a podcast will be available on the website of the BBC, and that we are going to, if you want to listen to it again, you'll be able to have it there. And it's going to be kind of cool to see that, and we'll see what happens next with all of that. So it's be sad to hear to next week. When I tune, I usually have CHU here very often, and it's going to be sad to see that those frequencies are empty, unfortunately. So this is unfortunately the way it goes. We're losing CHU, and yes, I know, Shortwave Archive, it's coming. You were afraid I would leave without it, eh? So take care, everybody, and we are going to end with the request of Moscow Nights. You guys want me to do Moscow Nights, and I will do Moscow Nights. Actually, I might not need the earphones. I think you guys are going to hear it anyways through the other process. So let me go on YouTube to find here we go, YouTube. The proper I should actually keep the song in my PC directly. So Radio Moscow, Moscow Nights, and yeah, that's the one. I don't know why it says includes paid promotion. This is weird. So I'm going to stop this here. I should be technically, yep, hearing it here. I'm going to put the volume higher. Shut my microphone down a little. So, you guys are hearing that? there you go, guys. Just for you. Moscow Nights was here. Hope you enjoyed. So take care, everybody. Stay safe. See you next Saturday, 20 hours Universal Time. It's always cool to be here. Love you all. This is always a pleasure to be here with you guys. Take care.